Hello and welcome, friends. Nice to see you here today. I'm James, Off Cost Games, and welcome in. Today it is the first stream in October, and we're gonna start playing spooky games. So my choice for today is this guy, the Escape the Dark Castle. This is a really simple little dungeon crawl style of game. I wanted to keep it simple today because I was thinking about Mansions of Madness and stuff like that. And they're all like complicated. They're longer games. They got apps, all sorts of stuff. So we're going to keep it simple and just play a thematic spooky games. Oh, look, James didn't turn on the bot. You know what? You're right, Trombone. Also, I would be remiss if I didn't say thank you, Greg, for that Prime sub. Appreciate you. Let me fix the bot because for the month of October, I did enable the spooky redeems. So there is the lights out redeem and the jump scare redeem that are in there. So yay, I'm really happy. I kind of sort of mostly tested them before stream and I think they work, but no promises. Oh yeah, getting recognition, Greg. You deserve it. I genuinely do appreciate the Prime sub there. So just helping out my favorite streamer. Whew. Thank you. That doesn't exude confidence. It wasn't meant to, Trombone. It was not meant to. All right, so let's talk about this game. This is Escape the Dark Castle. So broadly speaking, we are gonna, I swear I opened the bot. I don't know why the quote command didn't work. Did it just not open? Oh no, it's open. StreamerBot is open. I did update StreamerBot recently, like between the last stream and this one. And it's very possible that that's why it's not working. Here, let me see. If I redeem or somebody try like, oh, I'll just do it because I have infinite arbitrary internet points, you know? Okay, that worked. This looks creepy. I don't like that. The lights out redeem worked. So the bot's running because that runs entirely through StreamerBot. I don't know why quotes are broken. I'll have to fix that after stream. I'll dig into that some other time. Okay, so let's talk about Escape the Dark Castle here. So this game is like a thematic narrative game. It's really simple. We're going to play as a couple of characters, these guys here. And we are trying to escape the Dark Castle, the aforementioned Dark Castle, this guy right there. So we are, you know, there's a bit of a narrative explanation as we get into it. The first thing we got to do is we got to pick our characters. So this game has a bunch of expansions. I'm playing with a little bit of that expansion content mixed in, but broadly speaking, this is just the base game for now. So I'm excited to troll James. Great. I love that for me. Okay, so we are going to play as two characters. That's how you play this game solo. We have 18 health, okay? And our characters are represented by these character dice, okay? So we're going to pick two characters randomly. I'm going to put all these dice in the bag, and I'm just going to draw two out. These are just the base game characters. There's other ones that we can play as, but they have other like effects and all sorts of nonsense. And we're just gonna, you know, do that some other time. Love the music. Yeah, I tried to pick, you know, spooky music. It's a playlist that it's like 4 hours long. I have no idea what's there, so it might get weird, but that's okay. All right, so I'm gonna pick two dice here, and we're just gonna use whatever we get. We got the Abbot and the Cook. Okay. So here's the Cook. So there's three stats in this game. There's might, there's cunning, and there's wisdom. So the Cook is mighty, but not very wise. These directly correspond to the dice here. So there's going to be more might results on the cook's die than anything else. Okay. And then we got the Abbot, who is, of course, way down here. Oh, this is like, this is, oh, I wish I could have a beard. I wish I could have a beard like that. Martina told me no wizard beards, and I don't know what, that's not a wizard beard. Whatever the hell that is, it's worse. She would, like, immediately divorce me. It'd be over. So that won't be happening, but anyhow. All right. So normally when we, listen to the rules and do things intelligently here, there's these traits here. Basically, we've been imprisoned for a long time, and that has taken its toll on us. And there's these various character flaws here, like we could be greedy or things like that. Normally we would like draft our characters. We'd put them all out. We'd assign them each a character flaw, and we'd pick we'd make good choices about, what kind of character to pick. But instead we're just choosing our characters randomly, and we're going to give them each a flaw, and we're just going to find out how that goes. Hope for the best. So our cook is stubborn. Once per game, you may ignore either the U effect of a chapter card or the effects of a combat special. Does not apply to boss cards. Okay, we'll talk about what that means later. There's a character flaw, like that's just straight good for us, I thought these were going to be bad. Defiant, our defiant Abbot. He has to be defiant. This is so thematic. This is like, I knew this game, it knows, because you have to be defiant to run a beard like that. You can't just be like an average guy. No, you live by your own rules. Once per game, at the beginning of any round of combat, you may change any number of chapter dice to show results of your choice. Okay, so that's actually really powerful. So we got a once per game power for each of our characters here. And I wouldn't want that lady making me a sandwich. What do you mean? Come on. She's obviously skillful, making it out of powdered rat bones in the dungeon. Come on. All right, so those are our characters, the stubborn cook and the defiant Abbot. We have health tracked on here. We each start at 18. If either character dies, we immediately lose the game. Okay, and so we have to work through this entire deck. There's a boss at the very bottom here. That card is the boss card. This is one of 3 bosses. I don't know which one it is. This is one of 3 starter cards, and there's 50 or 60 cards available in the game, of which we have 15 kind of in the middle making up this deck. So every time we go through it, we have to go through 15 cards, but it's different each play. So we're gonna just start here, and we flip over a card, and every time we're flipping over a card, we have to decide which character is resolving it. We have to do that before we flip it. And they've given us this U marker, which is just this thing weighs a half a pound. It's super gratuitous. I don't know why I needed a 1/4 inch thick chunk of metal to remember who's playing, but we'll endeavor to use this. So we'll just keep it on the Abbot. We'll let him lead with his beard, and we'll see how this goes. I think the starter card doesn't really matter anyway, but we'll see. All right, after years of incarceration in the depths of the dark castle, you finally break free of your cell. In a small stone room adjoining the cell block stands an old wooden chest. The lock is open. Draw an item card per player now. Okay, so each player can hold 2 item cards. They go in these slots here. We'll say this is the cook's. I mean, we can trade them. So a cunning concoction. Discard to apply a single cunning at any time. So cunning is the thing that the Abbot actually has very little of. So maybe that'd be better on him. And a stale loaf of bread. That's appropriate for the cook. Discard to restore 2 HP to your character. Remember, if we die, we lose. Either character dies, it's over. All right. You hear footsteps approaching. You must not linger here. You make for the exit, slipping away and disappearing into the darkness. All right. Oh my god, we haven't mentioned rat bread before. Yeah, was that from this game? I think it was. But I can't remember if it was from a different game. But we were talking a lot about making stale bread in the dungeon out of rat bones. I remember that. All right. Here we go. So we're going to say the abbot is you. The abbot is him. A drunken guard stops you and demands to know your business. He is unsteady on his feet and his breath is vile. As a group, choose one option. We can bribe the guard, so we discard one item and he will forget he ever saw us. We can misdirect, so nominate a player to roll wisdom in one attempt. Okay, we could do that. Are we going to try to misdirect him or not? I mean, the abbot is super wise, right? We'll misdirect him with our beard. We'll go, ooh, look at my beard, and then run away. So we get one attempt. We have to roll our die, and we have to get the wisdom result, which is like a star. So most faces of the dice, we have a 50% chance of success here. Let's give it a try. I should have had a dice tray or a dice tower or something. Yeah. Boom, nailed it. Look at that. First try, no problems whatsoever. You befuddle the guard with a riddle and move on. All right. Didn't take much. He was drunk as a skunk. All right, we'll let the cook lead the way for a little bit here, and we'll see what happens. You have been hunted by the ferocious castle hounds. This looks terrifying. I don't like this anymore at all. No, thank you. You become separated, and each of you must fight alone. All right, roll a chapter die in front of each player to represent the hounds attacking them. However, the hounds can sense weakness. Players then with less than half their starting HP should roll 2 chapter dice instead. Okay, so these are chapter dice. This is a bit of an unusual example for combat because usually we do it collectively against a single enemy, and in this case we're fighting separately. But basically, usually there's a pre-printed number of dice on the enemy that we have to defeat, and then often we're rolling 1 die per character that we add to it. And essentially when we attack, we have to get matchy dice, right, to remove and defeat the enemies. So we'll roll 1 for the cook. Not like that, we won't. Might. So the cook is very mighty, so that's okay. And we'll roll 1 for the abbot. Wisdom. The abbot is very wise. That was a perfectly optimal roll, which is terrible because I'm using up all my good rolls now, and we know what that means for later. Anyhow. Okay, so we do like sort of an attack and defend sequence here. So I guess we would resolve that on like independently. So our cook will go. So she's going to attack. She got might. Just like that. We killed the hounds. So that matched the die result here. So we would eliminate this die. A lot of enemies are going to have 3, 4, 5 dice, and then they wouldn't be dead and they would attack us back. But in this case, we just put down that 1 dog. It's over. And then our abbot's going to attack. And he failed. Okay, so our abbot rolled might, but he rolled doubles. So this, you would. Oh. I got to get used to that again. It was probably Martina. It was. All right, so I added 2 redeems for spooky October. Spooky. So the first one is lights out. It does what just happened. The lights go out. The other one is the jump scare, which emulates the lights out. It has like it's got a little bit of randomness to it about length and whatever, and sometimes plays a horrible sound extremely loudly. It's quite terrifying when I'm suddenly in the dark and there's creepy noises. So, anyways, I'm really happy I enabled those. Yay. Okay, so back to where we were. So our Abbot over here rolled doubles. So this would count as 2 might results, but we don't need might. We need wisdom. So we flubbed it, which means that this dog is going to attack us. But the other thing on doubles is we have this little shield. We block damage. So we don't actually take any damage this time. And we would now continue with another round of combat. Our only options during combat, essentially now it's like a normal combat. There's both of us, and we're fighting one enemy who needs 1 wisdom in order to be defeated. The only options we have are we can either rest, where you recover 1 HP and you do not participate, you don't take damage or anything, or we attack. There always has to be at least 1 character attacking, but we're both going to attack. We'll let the cook try to do this first because, you know, dog meat. We're in a dungeon. We haven't eaten very well. Boom. Got it. So the cook dispatches the other dog. We're not going to inquire too much about what kind of delicious treats she's going to make with the meat from the castle hounds. And we're going to keep on keeping on here. So we've defeated this enemy. We get to draw 1 item always, unless it tells us otherwise, and we get to decide where that goes. We got the infested cheese wheel. Classic. Discard to restore 1 HP to all characters. That's pretty cool. She's already got something, the stale loaf of bread. She can share her treat. Maybe it's infested with weird dog meat. I don't know. That sounds, the more I say that, the grosser it sounds. Moving on. You are knocked unconscious. I guess you is the cook because I didn't bother to move that. You are knocked unconscious and dragged down a side passage. You awake strapped to a table where a man in a filthy apron is scraping rust from a jagged blade. You are to be a test subject for the castle's torturer. You must endure the pain until your absence is noticed and you are rescued. Roll your character die 5 times. For each roll that is not might or a double, you lose 1 HP. Okay, so good news, it is the cook. The cook is the mightiest of our characters here. But like calling this guy a man in a filthy apron feels extremely generous. I don't know. He's got an unsettling look about him. You know what I mean? I knew she wasn't a good cook. She made an infested wheel of cheese. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so we're going to roll 5 times. We need might or doubles. So that's double. So we're good. That's might. We're good. That's also might. We're still good. A double. Oh my God. Nailed it. And another double. We wasted all of our good rolls. We took no damage from that, which is shocking. Apparently we've got really stout skin. Our cook, it's not just her attitude that's stubborn. It's also her thick, leathery skin. Crazy RNG. I agree. That's a Scooby-Doo ghost right there. It totally is. Yeah. All right. Moving on. A haggard old woman appears out of nowhere and offers to read your fortune. Something in her eyes speaks of a greater power. You feel it is wise to comply. Each player must individually declare a trait and then try to roll it in 1 attempt. Okay. Well, we'll just pick our main thing. So we're going to try might for the cook, which we failed to roll. So the witch steals part of our soul and we lose 1 HP. That sucks. And for the abbot here, we will pick wisdom, which we did successfully roll. So we gain 1 HP and draw an item card. We're already maxed out. That's okay. She sees our delightful RNG perfect roll future. This is the only roll we've had so far this game that hasn't been exactly what we wanted. So, what did we find? Oh my god, we found the best item in the game. We found the golden axe. In combat, roll the golden axe alongside your character die. So, basically, until we have bad RNG, it's really good. It gives us this rad die here that's golden, you might say. And it's got doubles, lots of doubles, but these doubles don't block. Noteworthy kind of thing there. And 1 out of 6 chance of it just blows up and we lose an HP. Now, an unfortunate thing about this is it is two-handed. So somebody's going to have this as their only thing. I think we throw this on our cook. We know she's got stubborn lizard skin. And I think it's fair that she just snacks on this loaf of bread, heals to full, and equips this golden axe. Done. That was extremely fortunate. Thank you, old hag. How I love you. Well, we have really not had a lot of fights. Like, I shuffled this. This is just... RNG is, like, randomness is randomness, but, like, we keep having all of these encounters and not a lot of enemies to fight, which is interesting. Bringing his cart to a halt beside you, an intriguing stranger insists you sample his latest brew. A healing elixir, he claims. We are at full health. I do not want to sample this questionable elixir. A spiked club dangles from his belt, and, keen as you are to move on, you feel it would be unwise to refuse. How bad can it be? Okay, so we got to either take a sip or take a long draw. And this is our cook here. Let's just take a sip. The man smiles and rewards you. Draw an item card. Okay. An elixir of insight. This lets us discard to discard before any round of combat to change any chapter die to show a trait of your choice. So that's super useful. We can basically alter the difficulty of enemies. Is it more useful than a single cunning? I mean, neither of us have a ton of cunning. Getting HP back is the hardest single thing to do in this game, in my experience. So I think we're just going to let that elixir of insight go. We're going to call it a day. All right. Our abbot is you. You are our abbot. A monstrous winged creature swoops at you from the darkness above. Its hunting cry is deafening. You must try to roll cunning or a double in one attempt. Okay, let's do it. So, our abbot rolls a double. Get trolled. So we react quickly and dive aside. Begin combat. So this is kind of more of like the normal gameplay loop. It's quite unusual that we got so many encounters. This is an enemy, and it shows us down here that we have insight or cunning die, a wisdom die, and then 1 die per character. Okay, so this guy will have 4 dice on him. This is like, normally we're fighting and there's kind of multiple rounds, right? So we just set these out. And then we're going to roll 1 per character here. All right, so we need just cunning and wisdom, no might necessary. So now we would decide who's going to participate in combat and who's going to rest. So we're both going to participate. So we both attack, and then the monster attacks. Everybody who participated gets attacked back. If we defeat it, that does not happen. So the good news is we get to roll our golden axe every time. So let's start there. Oh my god, we rolled 3 might. The only time we don't... It begins now. It begins now. We rolled 3 might. The only time we don't need any might whatsoever. And we did not get a block, because doubles on this golden die do not have a block on them. So, huge fail over there. Let's see what our Abbot can do. Our Abbot also rolled might. That sucks. Okay, it's all over. This is where we expected to be, all along, you know? So, whoops. I do believe that we take, the attack value of the enemy in this case is 2. So we're going to take 2 damage each. And then we just continue doing that. We're going to keep either like attacking and defending in that loop until either that guy's dead or we are dead, you know? And this guy, he's kind of intimidating. Oh, I can't really show that off. It's a disaster.
K17 wants you to know it's a disaster.
You hate to see it. It's true. It's true. All right. Well, let's continue. Our cook got might again, and the axe, which is remove any 1 die. So let's remove one of the cunning ones, because that's our least likely ones to get. At least we got rid of something this time. And what's our Abbot going to do? Our Abbot got rid of one of the wisdom. So we've half killed this guy, but we have to take another 2 damage each. Yikes. Okay. What's our cook gonna do? Oh, after a player has taken damage from this creature, they can no longer block it. Okay, so we've all taken damage. We can't block even if we roll a block. Oh, and that's an absolute fail. 1, we just wasted our golden axe. It's gone now, and we lose an HP. Sucks to suck. And we rolled might, which we do not need, and a block. But in this case, we can't block. We could use our once per game that allows us to ignore that. But I feel like, I mean, 2 damage is a lot. We're kind of getting our butts kicked here. We're just sort of running it down. I think we saved that for something spicier. But we just flubbed it. And our Abbot, good and reliable. The reliable beard over here removes 1 wisdom. And we each take 2 damage. Yikes. Okay, surely this time, we just need 1 cunning. We got a might. We just need 1 cunning. We got another might. We might just, like, lose the game here, friends. Maybe, you know what? Before we take that damage, let's use our cunning concoction. I forgot we had this. Apply a single cunning at any time. It wouldn't have helped us earlier because there was more other dice, but we could just get rid of this one now. And then he doesn't attack us back. We don't take that 2 damage, and we're happy. I think we also are going to eat our infested cheese wheel. We're not happy about it. We don't think about it too much, but we just eat it and restore 1 HP to all characters. So we're at 12 and 13 HP. And that means we're going to lead the way with our beard here. We're going to keep that up. Oh, we get an item, though. Elixir of Insight. Discard before any round of combat to change any chapter die to show a trait of your choice. Okay, so this is the one we discarded. Or, well, the same as it. All right. As you pass a heavy wooden door, it flies open and a ragged madman bursts through. He wields his shackles as a weapon, and his crazed stare sends a clear message. You stand between him and freedom. This is absolutely like Wish.com Silas. Like, this is, you know, Silas after he spent a couple of years down here. It's a character from League of Legends. But anyways. All right, you, that's our Abbot, must try to roll might or a double in one attempt. Really wish it was our cook who had led the way, because they are mightier than our Abbot, but we flubbed it. That's wisdom. Failure. You are smashed aside, losing 2 HP. Begin combat. Okay, so this guy's got a might, a cunning, and 1 die per player. More cunning, more might. Okay, so this is a little bit more up our alley here. So we can rest optionally, right? If we rest, we gain an HP. We don't take damage, but we're leaving the other... Jesus. All right, thanks for that. That was Martina again, wasn't it? It totally was. That was not... That is really bright, okay? That I had forgotten how bright and horrible that jump scare was. It wasn't as loud as I anticipated. Maybe I gotta tweak the bot, turn that sound up. Let me do that. Because it was loud, but it wasn't terrifying me loud. Well, it's already set to 200%, so it's just going to be what it's going to be. It wasn't me. I had some encouragement. Oh, the kids decided that what they needed is me to be, you know, like just aggressively attacked by that strobe light. That's fun. I love my children. Okay, let's fight this guy. We're not going to rest. We don't believe in resting. But we do discard before any round of combat to change any chapter die to show a trait of your choice. We're going to change this to wisdom because we don't have a lot of opportunity to roll cunning. So let's start with our cook. Boom. 2 might. These are gone. And we block, so we will not take 2 damage. And our Abbot here. Oh, good thing I swapped that. So we don't defeat this guy, but we're close. And our cook will block, but our Abbot will take 2 damage. And because we're low on cunning with our Abbot anyway, and he's getting low, he's going to rest. So he'll just heal 1 HP. He doesn't participate in this next round of combat at all. And our cook is going to try and put this deranged maniac down. Boom. Got it. All right. So this guy's dead. We get 1 item. A stale loaf of bread. Nice. Okay, well, we're just going to eat this immediately. We're going to feed that immediately. We're going to loot the stale bread off of the maniac's corpse, immediately devour it, and gain that 2 HP back. Because now we're both at 12 HP. So we're doing okay. We're doing okay. Our cook is going to lead the way. This passageway leads to a set of old stone steps. They descend into a flooded cave. The water is murky, but a dim light is visible some distance below. You take a deep breath and dive, kicking towards the light. Listen, this has to be in the list of like things I am never doing. You're stuck in some creepy prison and you find a mystery underground pool with light at the bottom and you swim towards it. That's like a guaranteed way to die. Like, these guys have clearly never watched like a horror movie or something like that. Like, there's no way we're not dead here. Okay, each player must try to roll a double in 1 attempt. We failed on the cook, but we nailed it on the Abbot. Okay, so Success, you make it through, surfacing on the other side. So our Abbot has made it. Failure, you begin to flounder, lose 1 HP, and try again. If you have not succeeded after 3 attempts, you make it through, breathless and exhausted. We're playing like a mini game of black mold here. Hold your breath. Okay, we failed again. I failed to even get the die in. We failed 3 times, so we're gonna lose 2 more HP. We're at 9 HP over here, 12 over here. Oof. Oof. Oh, these guys look friendly. This passage takes you past dark, unlocked cells. From inside, the sound of bony hands clutching steel is unmistakable. I don't know what a bony hand would sound like, frankly. As a group, choose one option, then begin combat. So we either charge them, and they just have 2 dice that we roll, but they do 2 damage each round of combat. Or we lure them out, and they have 2 might dice and 2 dice, but they only do 1 damage. I think luring them out is definitely the way. We're quite mighty, so the increase in difficulty is probably very modest, and, you know, we're really unlikely to kill them in a single round. So we're going to lure them out. We lure the skeletons and their creepy, bony hands out into the hallway. All right, we got a little bit of everything. Cook, we can't afford to rest right now. Cook's up first. Boom. Gets the double roll, so she won't take damage, but her double is cunning, which we really didn't need this time so badly. And the Abbot also gets a double. Gets rid of that wisdom result. So we're going to block. We take no damage. And we do need the might from the cook. But maybe she just rests. I think the cook is going to rest this round. And we're going to send the Abbot in. Oh, look at that. The double might result. These guys are dead. We took no damage. We're too good at this. We get an item. A partially rotten apple. We're just going to immediately eat that. Devour it without thinking too much about it. Texture's not great, but it tastes surprisingly sweet. Maybe even a little fermented. And we're back to 11 HP on our cook, 12 on our Abbot. I'm going to share with you guys a secret here. We're getting close to the boss. The bosses are like gratuitously difficult compared to the normal fights. We're totally going to lose. But, you know, don't tell them. Don't tell them. That was crazy. It was good rolling. It was good rolling. From the darkness ahead, an arrow whistles past your ear. Before you can react, another buries itself into your shoulder, and you slump against the wall in agony. You lose 2 HP. Could have blocked it with the beard. Didn't. Cautiously creeping along the passage, you find a man's body riddled with arrows. There is no sign of the attackers, so you check to see if he was carrying anything of value. Okay, so we just lose 2 HP and draw an item. Likewise, a partially rotten apple that we immediately consume, and now we're both at 11. We're gonna let the cook lead the way for a bit. I can sense that this card requires might. Telepathic powers tell me this is a mighty card. Several armed figures spring from the shadows and attack. You become separated and each player must fight alone. Roll a chapter die in front of each player to represent the muggers attacking them. However, the muggers want your items. Players carrying 2 items roll 2 chapter dice instead of 1. Joke's on them, we don't have any items. Ha! Alright, so we need a might die for the cook. And oh my god, we did it again. We're back. We focused up. We're getting the results we need here. Alright. Each time a player would take damage from a mugger, they may avoid it by discarding an item. No player can rest until the muggers attacking them are defeated. They may then either rest or help another player to defeat theirs. Okay, so just like that first fight against the castle dogs. So our cook is going to go fight. Gets the might she needs. This guy's dead. And our Abbot is going to go fight. Does not get the wisdom that he needs and is going to lose 1 HP. Sucks. I think our Cook should rest and our Abbot will fight again. Boom. Nailed it. They're dead. We get an item. Distilled wisdom. Discard to apply a single wisdom at any time. So our Cook is not wise at all. So she's definitely taking that. And she is the healthier of the two, so she's going to continue leading the way. Here a man sits at a table, his face shrouded in shadow. That is not how I would describe this, but okay. He looks extremely unhinged, honestly. As you edge past, he lurches forward and pulls you close with a snarl, revealing his scarred face and rancid intentions. As a group, choose one option. We can flee, or we can fight. If we flee, we lose 3 HP, which is a lot, but he has 2 HP per round. Like, if we don't kill him in 1 round, we take 4 HP of damage anyway, you know? But we could block. There's a block. There's some real block potential here. I think only one side of our die. No, 2 sides. Let's fight him. Let's just... We can't let this guy grief us. Oh my god. Oh, we got cunning. That's bad. That's not ideal. That's okay. All right, Cook, you're up. 1 might. We'll take it. It's another Scooby-Doo villain. I agree. Oh, it was almost a might, but it isn't. It's a wisdom. Unfortunately, exactly what we didn't want to have happen happened, and we're going to take 2 damage each. So we've taken more damage than if we had just run away. Our Cook is way more cunning than our Abbot. Oh, kills him. So this guy's dead. I think that means we can functionally rest with this guy, even though he doesn't really get a turn. And that means we get an item. A cracked axe. In combat, roll a chapter die along with your character die. Each time you attack, apply both results. All right. In the same way that the beard is split on our Abbot, we're going to run with this cracked axe. As you pass an ornate mirror in this bedchamber, twisted versions of yourselves step through it with murderous intent. You become separated and must fight alone. Wow, I don't think I've ever played this game and had so many things we have to do separately. Each player must roll their die twice and place corresponding chapter dice in front of them to represent their doppelganger. Place only 1 die for each double rolled. Okay, so we've got a cunning and a might for the Cook. And we've got a wisdom and a cunning for the Abbot. These guys do 1 damage each time. All right, Cook. We got a double might with a block. So we're going to remove 1 of those. This lets us apply wisdom, which we don't have. We need cunning. So we can't eliminate him with this one, but we will take no damage. And our Abbot gets to roll an extra die with the cracked axe here. This one doesn't break, but it's never as good. It doesn't have doubles or wild card result that the golden axe has, but it never breaks. So, oh, look at that. We got 2 wisdom. So we'll get rid of 1 of these, but we are going to take a single damage over here. All right, our Cook needs a cunning, doesn't get it, but got doubles, so she's going to be safe. And our Abbot needs a cunning, also doesn't get it, but does not get doubles. Man, the beard is letting us down over here. Okay, still doubles. Oh my gosh, we cannot we can't find Cunning to save our lives here. We did get doubles, so we won't take damage on either character, but could we roll a Cunning already? We flubbed it. That's Wisdom. And this is super might. Like, on like 8 rolls here, we haven't found a single Cunning. So doubles, we won't take a damage, but we will take one here. We can't help each other or rest because both of us are still fighting our doppelganger. That's doubles. We keep getting the wrong doubles on the cook. If we just simply rolled on the other side here, that's what we need. But we cannot seem to find it. And the extra die for our Abbot hasn't helped us. Oh, famous last words. Look at that. We get the Cunning that we need with our cracked axe. So he won't take any damage. He won't take any damage. We could help out, but Cunning is super low anyway, so we're just going to heal. We're at 8 HP. And we whiffed it, so we're going to take a damage. We're going to continue healing. We're at 9 HP. And we whiffed it, but we block. We'll rest. Whiffed it. Take a damage. I feel like she has to always continue fighting, at least thematically. That feels right. So we'll rest because we're not going to help out. I mean, he gets to roll his axe. Doesn't matter if she's at 6 HP. If either one of us die, we're screwed. So we'll let the Abbot help out here. He's done resting. Oh, look at that. He finds the Cunning and she can heal one by resting. And we can feel better about how hard we failed at that. Well, this is painful. You're telling me. Jesus, we cannot get there. Okay, we found Rengorn's Rune, a relic. Whenever you roll a double, you may change it to any single. If you do, the double does not apply. Okay, so that's interesting. That's quite quite powerful. Okay, you is definitely our Abbot now because we're kind of hurt over here. He's at least got 10 HP. She's got 8. All right. Oh, it's a spooky ghost. Ooh. Your spirit is suddenly wrenched from your body. Paralyzed, you can only watch as it drifts above you. You are incapacitated, so that's our Abbot. That sucks. To restore your corporeal balance, the other players must roll in unison, keeping track of any wisdom rolled until they have rolled a total wisdom equal to the number of players. So we need to roll 2 wisdom here. After each attempt, you, that's me, the Abbot, lose 1 HP unless the total has been reached. If you've not succeeded after 3 attempts, okay, so we need to roll a wisdom and use our potion, basically. Or roll a double and change it to a wisdom. So this should be achievable, but wisdom is our lowest thing. We got a double, so we can change that to a wisdom, and we can use our potion to make that a wisdom. And that's our 2 wisdom. We don't take any damage, but I don't think we can rest or anything. We'd still get an item, though. I think. Do we only get an item from combat? I don't care. We're getting an item every card. Discard to apply a single might at any time. Well, that's... Oh, I guess he has a 2-handed item. He can't have that anyhow. Okay, so we got 2 cards left. 1 more, and then the boss. Let's go. Oh, it's a creepy spider. I don't like this. That thing looks... No. That's a no. This chamber is flanked by caves and littered with gnawed bones. A guttural growl rings out as something emerges. Ugh. As a group, choose one option and then begin combat. So we tackle the beast head on. We only have to get 2 dice, but he does 3 damage every round. Or we use hit and run tactics, and it's going to be 5 dice. I think we tackle this beast head on. We tackle him head on, and we can potentially use our our stubborn card here, our stubborn cook. Oh, I hate how I've set this up. I did this on purpose. I did this to myself, but I set this up so that I can't tell if it's a lights out redeem or if it's a a jump scare. because the jump scare always does the lights out and then it waits a random amount of time before the strobe effect happens. And I did that on purpose because they were like predictable. I could always tell which one it was. And then the jump scare didn't work. And I hate that I've done that because now the jump scare does work and the lights go out and I'm like holding my breath, waiting for the stupid jump scare. You guys suck. Well played. Well played, trombone. Well played. I was in it. I was focused. Okay, so we're going to tackle this beast head on. That means we roll 2 dice here. Of course, it's a cunning and a might. Might's more realistic, okay? And we're going to start with our Abbot here. And we're going to go fight this guy. Oh my god, we one-tapped him. Look at that. Boom. Exactly what we needed. Our Abbot had had enough of this spider's shit. And we're going to rest and heal. Now, we cannot use our once per game anymore because it does not apply to boss cards, and this is the boss card. So we never used our stubborn card. We can potentially use our defiant one, but we'll see. Do not read until you have completed the last chapter card, which we have. Oh, hey, we need an item. A rusted flail, a one-handed weapon. Once per round of combat, when you roll cunning, you may roll again and choose which of the 2 results to apply. I don't know how much, like, I mean, we roll cunning decently often on here. But is that better than our one time just a free might? Probably. Probably. Okay. Let's see the boss we got. We got the Dark One. I love Halloween-esque streams. They're hilarious. That's not fun. That's mean. All right, this guy looks dark. Your pitiful trinkets are no match for my dark magic. As you enter, good thing I thought about where this was, enter the Dark One's presence. Any items you are carrying, vaporize. Discard them now. Shit. Okay. He really meant it about the trinkets. So I'm glad I thought that out. Oh, well, I think this was probably the cracked axe is really good. A second die? Amazing. Especially because we just need lots of dice against this guy. But, anywho, we begin combat. So we've got 1 cunning, 3 wisdom, and 1 die per player. Overall, high wisdom is probably a decent thing for us. Another cunning, that's bad. We need some might here. Okay, so we don't need might whatsoever. That's a yikes. Once per game, at the beginning of any round of combat, you can change any number of chapter dice to show results of your choice. When we roll cunning, we can re-roll it with our flail. So I think we just change these cunning dice to might dice. We use our once per game. Our defiant. No, you stole my cracked axe, but I'm gonna punch you in the face, and you're gonna like it. All right, let's do this. It's boss time. Oh my god, we rolled a cunning. Okay, but once per round of combat, when you roll cunning, you may roll again. There's that might that we needed. Okay, so we're gonna choose that result. And our Abbot is gonna roll once. Also might. Beautiful. We're now going to take 3 damage. Down to 6 and 7. We have no way to heal. We can rest. Resting once with the cook is going to matter, because right now we'd be down to 3 and then we'd be dead. If we gain at least 1 more HP, then we can survive 1 additional round. So maybe our cook will just rest this round. And our Abbot is here to show this Dark One how wise he is. Oh, it's gorgeous. We get rid of 2 wisdom dice and we block. Easy. Easy. All right, our cook is back in it. We got rid of that last wisdom. We just need 1 might and we're good to go. We didn't do it, but the bastards. Ugh. I'm trying to play a game here, guys. There should be a krill issue redeem? No. No. There shall not. Alright, so we each take 3 damage. We need to put up 1 might. I think we can do this. There it is. Hook got it. We defeat the dark one. And that's it. There are ending cards, but I couldn't find them, actually. Like a little prologue card. These are all bosses. So it's not those. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where they ended up. Are they these? No. Alright. Who knows? Alright. The important thing here is that despite we had a great start, then things got really spicy and looked really bad. That one fight, like, we half died because we just couldn't roll cunning, but we ultimately made it through. So that was one run through of Escape the Dark Castle. The nice thing about this game is it doesn't take long, right? The core gameplay loop is super simple. We basically have to shuffle up these cards again, or we could just continue using this from this pile so we get new ones. There's a bunch of extra characters and other stuff, expansions, that we can mess around with. And we're going to do that in a minute. I'm going to take a quick break. We escaped the castle. We survived. We lived to tell the tale. I'm going to take a quick break, and we're going to try another run through. We're going to up the difficulty a little bit and try some new characters. So I will see you guys real soon. All right, friends, I'm back. That was fun. I had a lot of fun with that. So we're going to take out our start card here. We're going to take out our boss card. And we're going to set aside the cards that we've used for this run through. And we're just going to take a new boss. One of these two. And a new starting card. I've moved things around a little bit so that we can see a little better, I think. I hope. So I zoomed in the camera. I didn't actually move anything else around yet. Okay. So let's try some different characters. Now the question is, do we want, like, one thing that's a little bit, challenging about this game is in the event that we use just totally random characters. Like this worked out really well, actually. We had like a good mixture of traits. If you end up with like both characters have no cunning, the game can be pretty close to impossible, but you know what? Whatever. We'll just run with it. It's quick enough to play through. If we die, we die. So let's set aside the cook and the abbot. They've had their moment. And what do we got here? Are these bosses? These are bosses. Oh my god. Okay, we'll deal with those later. Do we need to otherwise make this more difficult? I don't know. We could put the curses in. I think I'm missing a curse. It says that there's 5, and I have exactly 4 curse cards here. But I don't know. Anyways, let's mix the curses in to our deck of items as one way of making things, a little bit more difficult potentially. And we could use the death dice. That's these. They basically just substantially up the difficulty, where whenever we're rolling for player dice, we roll these dice instead. And they can have like multiple results on them. Let's try it. Let's try the death dice, whatever. I don't remember the significance of this shield side, though. I gotta look that up real quick. I think this was in the collector's box. There's like 5 rule books. They're all split up. Okay, so a shield is a double of any kind, or we have to... 2 characters have to combine a matching thing. Oh yeah, the split double, actually, this is disproportionately hard for us with only 2 players, because we would need these 2 results in a single round, which is extremely unlikely for us to get. I remember these being annoying. Maybe let's just leave them out, because the split double's kind of bullcrap. We'll add the curses. We'll see what happens. We can try one of the other bosses that have... Like there's these plague cards that we can add. And some of the other enemies have different like special powers and stuff. But what we can do, I think, we've got our items all shuffled up here. I think we can add our other different characters into here. So we got the bishop, the Fletcher, the mason, the hunter. I have no idea what this die is, so we're just going to set it aside. Once again, mystery die of mystery that I'm not sure what it is. We got the Witcher, Spirit. Oh wait, the Witcher, the Spirit, and the Guard, these are companions. So we won't need those. We got the butcher and the shepherd. And these guys can actually get those split ones. But the chance that they're like matchy and whatever, exceptionally low. I don't want to run more than 2 characters, and I don't want to whatever. If we easily ace it again, then we'll try with the death dice. Okay, so we need 15 of these cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Almost had it. Almost had it. And hopefully things should be slightly easier to see this time because I zoomed this in a bit. We can basically see everything we need to here. All right, so I'm gonna add these character dice. We have all the different characters in here now. I'll toss these into the bag here. We'll pick 2 out. We're going to have the butcher and the shepherd. There's some synergy there, right? You know, I think so. The butcher is very mighty, and the shepherd is very wise. Okay, so this was like a pretty good little pairing. They both have split doubles that are, you know, not for just a single trait, which is quite useful. And the character flaws, really, honestly, the character flaws are just a boon. They make things easier. So maybe let's just leave them out. We'll play without them. Synergy, schminergy. Hard disagree. I think synergy is an important part here. Okay. So I think we're set up and ready to go. We'll start playing as the butcher here. He's you. Having finally escaped your wretched cell, and in your haste to seek out the exit of this abominable place, the very first steps of exploration lead you down an errant path, a dead end. Shuffle 1 additional chapter card into the castle deck now. Well, that's bullcrap. Throw it in there somewhere. All is not lost, however. This particular dead end appears to serve as some manner of storeroom. You quickly take as much as you can carry. Draw 2 item cards per player now. Okay, that's huge. We found some stale bread, a partially rotten apple, another partially rotten apple, and liquid luck. Let's just put them out that way we found them there. Liquid luck allows us to re-roll our character die, but we get what we get. Strange, distant sounds begin to fill the air, and you sense your absence has now been noticed by your captors. They are coming for you. All right, let's do this. Oh, they weren't kidding. You wipe dust from the lid of a large tomb, hoping to read its inscription. As you at your touch, the lid slides open, and a giant knight rises, bellowing that you should not have disturbed him. As a group, choose one option. We run and we lose 3 HP, or we fight. The fight is 2 damage per thing. But honestly, if we take a little damage, use up some of our healing items, and then get other ones, that's not horrible. You are the only player the giant attacks, so we're only taking 2, and I can't rest. Let's just fight him. Let's fight him. Oh dear. I hope we like cunning, which is our least likely thing to get. Whoops. All right, butcher. We cannot rest. Get in there. Okay, well, we can get wisdom. And we block. That's huge. And our shepherd can get a cunning and block. Okay, so we don't kill him, but we don't take any damage. Big. Butcher gets a might. Not going to help. Wisdom, likewise not going to help. Only the butcher gets attacked, though, so that's 2 damage. We're really big on might with this butcher. That's exactly wrong. Okay. Butcher's going to take 2 damage. This time, though. Okay, well, we still didn't get cunning, but we're going to block it. And we got cunning here on the shepherd. Okay, so we took 4 damage instead of 3. Wah. But we get an item. So that's huge. Hopefully it's a good one. More liquid luck. Okay, well, we're going to use up our stale loaf of bread. And I don't think there's a compelling reason not to eat our partially rotten apple either. So we'll just nom 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 nom. We're basically back to full and we have liquid luck. Yeah. All right. A series of long blades swing from the ceiling of this narrow passageway. You study the pattern of their movement and prepare to dash to the other side. What could go wrong? In unison, all players must roll their character die along with 1 chapter die 3 times. Each time a player's character die matches the chapter die they rolled, they are caught by the blades and lose 2 HP. If you roll a double, you survive that roll without taking damage. Ugh. 2 HP. Okay. So we don't want matchy-matchies. So we'll do the butcher 3 times. No match. We're good. Match, but it's a double, so we're good. Match. So we're going to take 2 damage on our butcher. And then our shepherd here is going to make a run for it. No match. No match. No match. Our shepherd is just like swift, like dodges everything. It's no problem. Easy. Our shepherd is also substantially healthier than our butcher, so she can lead the way now with this wicked 80s haircut. I think in the 80s this would have been held up by hairspray, and because we're in the dungeon and it's been a while, it's probably more like poop, but you know, same thing. All right. You know what? Yeah, we only draw an item card after combat. This was not combat, so on to the next thing. You ascend a narrow spiral staircase, emerging onto a windswept bell tower. As you cross the tower, the bell swings into life, its dreary peal shaking your very bones. Now listen, I'm not a scientist, but I feel like it was an improvised noose, maybe. I don't know, I don't want to think about that too much. All right, any player who cannot roll wisdom or a double in 1 attempt loses 2 HP as the sound begins to drive them insane. All right. Wisdom. Nailed it. Also wisdom. We're good. We're hyper sane around here. So sane, you never would know that we're trapped in a dungeon. Oh, good. Something is blocking the door to this chamber, and you use your shoulder to force it open. It is only when you step inside, eggshell crunching underfoot, that you realize you have destroyed a creature's nest. There is a mournful wail as it approaches from the darkness, its sorrow soon turning to fury. Begin combat. All players may fight as normal, but you are the only player this creature attacks, and you may not rest. So the shepherd may not rest, but we can defend with our rock hard hair. Okay, so we got a might, a cunning, and a might and a cunning. So 2 might, 2 cunning on this guy, and we just like killed this creature's babies. So that's not ideal. That's not ideal. All right, butcher, what do you got? A might. That's good. shepherd, what do you got? Also a mite. Okay, so the mites are done. 2 damage, though. Might. Butcher, you're useless. Cunning. And 2 damage. We may not rest. Butcher could rest. I don't know if it's worth it. We just need 1 more cunning. That's hard to get. I think Butcher should rest. Oh, so that means we don't get to roll. And we didn't get a cunning, but we did block. That's huge. No damage. I think the Butcher could rest again. And we got a might, but we're going to use our liquid luck. And we still failed. We got a wisdom. Not what we needed. So 2 damage. We are really hurt, and we cannot rest. The Butcher's going to try and help us out. Got that cunning that we needed. Beautiful. So we win, and we cannot rest. That sucks. We're hurt. That took a lot out of us. Our hair did not make an effective shield after all, you know? So that sucks. This game looks similar to Black Mold, only insofar as it's like, you know, kind of monochromatic, noir, you know. It's very different, though. To enter this door, you are forced to push aside thick, thorn-covered vines. They spring to life, binding your wrists and hauling you into the thicket beyond. You lose 1 HP. Hacking at the aggressive weeds eventually causes them to recede through cracks in the old stone walls, leaving behind the belongings of previous victims. Draw 2 item cards. Okay. Oh, no. That's not an item card. That's a restless spirit, a curse. Your soul is tainted with a deep agitation. Your mood becomes foul, your lust for violence dominating your actions. You cannot rest in combat. Place this card beside your character card. It cannot be removed. So our Butcher can just never, ever, ever rest again. Great. But Rengorn's Rune. Whenever you roll a double, you may change it to any single. If you do, the double does not apply. Maybe let's give that to him. Actually, no. We're more likely to turn a double to a single on the shepherd because we can't block when we do that. And we're going to need all the block we can get over here on the Butcher. Damn. Aggressive weeds. It's true. We got the dandelions put us down. Cursed us. All right. Hurrying into this candlelit chamber. You interrupt a sacrificial ceremony. A robed man in a death mask declares that you, too, must now be sacrificed. Sack of rice. Sack of rice. All right, begin combat. Combat special. You are overcome with fear. Any doubles you roll this chapter count as singles, and you cannot block. Oh my god, I really wish I'd put this you thing on our shepherd, but I failed. Oh, and look at that. We need 3 cunning, our least likely thing to roll. Maybe this will be over with soon. Maybe this will be over with soon. Oh, I just got the perfect ad for Barbie. Okay. What do we got? We got a wisdom. All right, shepherd. We got a might, which is not useful in any way whatsoever. So we're going to each take 2 damage. We're already half dead, and we're like 5 cards in. We were at this sort of space close to the end last time. It's looking unlikely. All right, what do we get? Okay, so doubles. Our Butcher is overcome with fear. Doubles count as singles. So I think this means we could pick which one we want, but we can't block. But we would pick the cunning, obviously. And our shepherd, I think we need to block on our shepherd. We could, whenever you roll a double, you may change it to any single. If you do, the double does not apply. So we could do a cunning here, but then in so doing, We're going to take 2 damage. I don't know. Are we going to get 2 cunning in a single round? Probably not. All right, let's just do that. We'll take 2 damage and 2 damage. I mean, we could rest on him. That is an option. He can't. Oh, no, you cannot rest in combat. Never mind. Of course we can't. We can't block or rest. So we're just fighting. Butcher, get in there. You whiffed it. We're going to use your liquid luck because that sucks. And we got a double, but we can't block. And it's not the one we need. And any doubles count as singles, so I would assume it's a single of one of those types, which is not cunning. So our butcher is letting us down. Our shepherd could rest, but we got to win the game eventually here, you know? So she has cunning on her doubles, on one of them. I think she's actually going to rest this time. And he's going to take 2 damage, and we're going to try again. Hey, he did it. And that means she can rest again. Oof. Oof. All right, we get an item. Don't be a curse. Effervescent evasion. Whenever you would lose HP, discard this item to lose none. Okay, our butcher is taking that 100%, and he's going to eat this partially rotten apple. We'll hand it over to him. He'll gain 1 HP. We're at 10 and 11. He cannot rest. We're going to let the hare lead the way. Enjoy your lurk. Thanks for hanging out. Two deformed thugs are debating the best way to kill and eat another man when they notice your arrival. Nice. Nominate a player to roll wisdom or a double in one attempt. Okay, we want that to be the shepherd. She rolled might. The attackers kill the man and turn on you, licking their lips and looking you up and down. Okay, so they're like full-on cannibals. So we got cunning and wisdom. We're really quite unlucky with our rolls. We're getting a lot of cunning on enemies, which is, you know, our least good thing. We can't rest, so butcher's getting in there. You got a wisdom. Shepherd also got a wisdom, which sucks because we don't need it. So we each take 2 damage. This run's looking like a failure, I think. It is unlikely to be successful, but let's see. Let's get the butcher in there again. Ooh, cunning. Okay, that's big. That's big. We just need one more. Shepherd. We got this. There it is. There's our cunning. All right, we defeated them. We get an item. It's a curse. Temporal vortex. The ghostly laughter of the Death Knight rings out and a swirling vortex suddenly rips through the chamber. All players lose 1 HP as it passes over them. Any player carrying 1 or more relics must shuffle them back into the item deck now. Well, it's a good thing I didn't need this relic in order to, you know, not immediately lose the game. Cool. All right. Maybe we'll discover something in here that's going to help us heal a lot. And we're going to feel better about our lives. But I have low confidence. This nobleman seems out of place, wandering the bowels of the castle. He offers a reward if you do not tell anyone you've seen him. As you talk, he covers his nose, visibly disgusted by you. As a group, choose one option. So we can agree and we get an item card. We can attack and he fights back with dazzling swordplay. But if we survive, we get 1 item per player. And he only does 1 damage per round. I mean, a free item card, though? Let's just take the free item. One extra item card isn't going to be a deal breaker or like a... Discard before any round to change any chapter dice to the trait of your choice. Let's keep that on the butcher also. All right. Well, that looks terrifying. At the end of this passage is an old stone well. As you reach in to test the water, it thrashes into a violent torrent. You have disturbed a malevolent spirit. Begin combat. You are incapacitated for the first round of combat, during which you do not fight and may not rest, but still take damage as normal. You recover at the beginning. Okay, so we just can't... Or the shepherd is just out for round 1. Man, there's more cunning again. Great. We haven't fought anything that needs might, which is our strongest trait. I guess might... Oh, well, we got cunning. Okay. We're going to get rid of one of the cunning, and that's it. We're going to take 2 damage each. It's looking like a loss. Butcher's in there. Oh, he can block, and he gets a might and a cunning. Huge. Shepherd gets also a block and gets rid of one of the wisdom. Nice. Okay. Butcher. Oh, a block again and the wisdom, and that means we can rest over here. So we're at 6 HP on each of them. We get an item card. Effervescent evasion. We're kind of saving these to let us one time avoid HP damage. Avoid HP loss. So we're saving that for like an enemy that's going to hit us for 3 or 4 or something, you know? So we'll see. We'll see. A creature stitched together using butchered animal parts scuttles towards you. It is so hideous, you instinctively lash out. Begin combat, but you get to make 1 attack before the first round, taking no damage. Okay, so that's the shepherd. So we need a wisdom and 2 dice here. A little bit of everything, that's good. Okay, we did the wisdom, it's gone. The first time this creature is defeated, before drawing an item card, roll a chapter die. If the result is might, it regenerates, and you must restart combat and defeat it a second time. Well, that sounds horrible. All right, Butcher, get in there. You got the might that we needed. Beauty. The Shepherd gets not what we need. If she had her rune that got horribly cursed away, we would have won, but instead she's just going to block, and our Butcher's going to take 1 damage. There it is, though. Cunning, that means we can rest over here. And we got to roll one of these chapter dice, and we don't want might. All right, we did not get it. So we're good. We get an item card. Partially rotten apple. We will give that to our Butcher. He will eat it immediately. Oh, this guy looks friendly. Yeah, now we're finding... In that first run, we had so many events, and a lot of those didn't involve losing very much health. We're paying for it now, that's for sure. You interrupt a beast man devouring a fresh kill. I think we could have left him alone instead of like tapping him on the shoulder, but you know. He raises his head, sinew dangling from his gore-smeared mouth. I don't like Halloween streams. I don't like it. Good timing. Good timing. Panic was real. I thought it was going to be the jump scare. Then he charges at you. You must roll might or a double in 1 attempt. That's a double. Boom. Success. You react quickly and dive aside. Begin combat. Okay, so we got a might, we got a cunning, and we got 2 dice. Cunning and a wisdom. Suboptimal. Too much cunning. We just get a ton of this. He does 2 damage every time. Butcher always has to fight. Gets the wisdom for us. Huge. Wisdom and a cunning. Not ideal, but the block is nice. So we're going to take 2 damage over here on the Butcher. Butcher hit a might there. We need a cunning. And we got it. This guy's dead. Beauty. Let's get an item. Hey, it's that relic that we lost. It said shuffle it back into the deck, so I guess we were lucky enough to get it. All right, we're actually close. We got 5 more cards and then the boss, but we are at 7 and 4 HP. He can never rest, so the only way he can get HP back is through items, and we have not been finding a whole lot of bread or anything, so iffy. You pass through a chamber which serves as a cesspit below the castle privies. As you pick your way through the filth, something unusual catches your eye. Draw an item card. A decayed blade. Once per round, when you roll wisdom, you may roll again and choose which of the 2 results apply. That's super useful. I feel like that and the rune is better than the evasion potion, but we could put that on him so he can evade 2 different attacks. All right, that's fortunate. Without warning, a swarm of giant bats bursts into the passageway. You can only cower beneath the overwhelming blur of wing and fang. As the bats swarm past, each player in turn must roll their character die, along with 3 chapter dice. After rolling, a player loses 1 HP for each chapter die that matches their character die. If a player rolls a double or rolls no matches, they are unharmed. Ugh. We got might. Oh, no matches. Okay, thank goodness. Butcher's fine. She is not fine. We got 1 matchy-matchy on the cunning there. So, Shepherd will take 1 damage. Still healthier, 6 to 4. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. Your boot catches a tripwire, releasing a shower of acid from above. All players must try to roll cunning in 1 attempt. I got a cunning there. I didn't get a cunning, but I got a double, and I can change it to a single. So I will change that to a single cunning. So we did it. Success. You dodged the trap. Ah! Joke's on you. Oh dear. This is an extremely angry looking gladiator. You emerge into a small, sandy arena. In the center, a woman far taller and more muscular than yourself raises her well-worn blade and calls out, "Challengers, prepare to die." Yeah, she looks like she could kill us. Combat special. Before each round of combat, nominate 1 player to fight the arena champion. Only that player rolls, and only that player takes damage. You must fight in the first round. Players may not rest. Oh, God. Okay, so we got might, cunning, wisdom, and 2 other dice. Cunning and wisdom, of course. Never might. Okay, well, it's the shepherd first, for sure. We got a might. Now it says once per round when we roll wisdom. Okay, we don't get to do that, and we didn't roll a double. So we're going to take out this might, and we're going to take 1 damage. At least it's only 1. She's still stronger, so I think, and she has better items. So I think we're just going to keep sending her in. So we're going to send in the shepherd. We really wanted a double there. We didn't get it. We're going to take a damage. Might. That's a total whiff. We're dying here real fast. We need a double bad. Nope. I mean, we could turn that wisdom. No, this way we have more chances of success. We'll leave it as is. But we're down to 2 HP. I think we got to send in the butcher. We got rolled might. That's a big fail. Okay, we rolled a wisdom. And we block. It's huge. We need cunning. We're equally likely to get cunning on either one. But she has more ways to manipulate her dice. But she only has 2 HP. I don't know. We're gonna send in the shepherd. I believe. Okay, we got wisdom. We can roll it again. We got wisdom, and we only can reroll once. So we just take a damage. If we take another damage, we lose. So Butcher, you're up. Roll the might. That's a flub. Roll the might and a cunning. Man, we have gotten like the number of cunning dice we've had on cards has been comfortably 50% of dice we've rolled, probably 60 or 70%, and we do not get a lot of them, and that has been deeply unlikely and challenging. But in good news, we defeated the arena lady. We get one item. It's a stale loaf of bread. I think we have to eat that over here on the shepherd, because otherwise we just lose the next time she takes damage. At the end of this winding passage, a wooden chest covered in cobwebs is protected by a gauntlet of vicious-looking traps. We're basically dead. We're bleeding out. What could go wrong, right? As a group, choose one option. Move on. It's not worth the risk. Risk it. Nominate a player to try and retrieve items from this chest. They must roll cunning in one attempt and may try this as many times as there are players. For each success, draw an item card. For each failure, the nominated player loses 2 HP. We have struggled to roll cunning the entire time. But if we roll wisdom, we can change it to a result or we get to reroll again, I guess. Oh, whatever. We're not winning the boss fight at 3 and 2 HP. We need some items here. We're going to try with the shepherd. What could go wrong? Boom. There's a cunning right there. So we get one item, which is a stale loaf of bread. Huge. Give that to the butcher. And we could try one more time. Do we push our luck or do we just move on now? We've got cunning on 2 sides of the dice. We can reroll on 4 different sides. Let's go for it. It's greed. We got might. We got the only side of the die that doesn't let us reroll. Reroll, reroll, or we just get it. Reroll, reroll, or we get it. Literally, we had a 1 in 6 chance of flubbing this, and we did. So we lose 2 HP. That sucks. All right, boss fight. We got 1 HP. We're probably just doomed. I'm surprised we made it here, honestly. Terror of the Underworld. If I recall, this is the hardest boss in the original 3. Pain only makes me stronger. At the end of each round, if the Terror of the Underworld has not been defeated, he grows in strength. Roll a chapter die and add it to the row of remaining dice. Okay, but he's just going to one-tap us, right? He's going to do 3 damage each round. All right, begin combat. We desperately need to roll doubles here. There's a thin opportunity. Oh my god, he basically is just cunning, right? Our weakest thing. This is like this is the epitome of our game so far. Cunning, 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 and more cunning, which we do not have a lot of. The only one that the other 2 are balanced out. Cunning's the one that we have the least of. Okay. So, we're going to have our shepherd rest. And we're going to send in the butcher. Now, if he doesn't... For each round of combat, he gains an additional die. So, if we have to remove 2 with doubles, or else, like, we're getting a net gain, or like a net 0, rather. Or a net gain if we fail. Okay, so we got a cunning. We did not get doubles. So we're going to remove that cunning, and we're going to replace it with a might. And he's going to hit us for 3. We're going to rest again on our shepherd. We didn't get doubles. We got rid of a might. And we replace it with a might. And we're going to use our effervescent potion. We're going to rest on our shepherd. For the love of God, roll doubles. Okay, there we go. We got a double. It gets rid of this might. It doesn't get rid of the Wisdom, because there are none. And this gets replaced with a cunning. And we're going to tag the shepherd in. We have to win in 2 rounds, which I think means we have to roll doubles on both characters both times. But it's not impossible in theory. We got a wisdom, the only result we don't need. And another wisdom. So that's unfortunate. We're each going to take 3 damage. I'm going to use my last effervescent evasion, and he's going to get an additional die, which is, of course, another cunning. Good God. We're going to take 3 damage. So he will kill us next turn. We cannot win. I mean, I guess we can if we block. So if we roll doubles, which we didn't do. So Butcher's going to die, and that means we lose the game. And a cunning. So we didn't block on either character. We take 3 damage. We're dead. That went about as badly as that possibly could have. Our characters do not have a lot of cunning, and we got so much of it throughout that entire run through. But we quite surprisingly made it to the boss. I didn't think that was happening. And we weren't that close to defeating him, let's be honest. But, you know, if we had a bit more HP or a couple different items or something, there was a possibility there. It wasn't impossible. That felt like about the right difficulty level, right? We didn't, it wasn't super easy. It was a little frustrating that we rolled so much cunning consistently throughout the campaign. Or the, not campaign, but the run through, but still good. This thing sucked, this curse. Not ideal. But, made for a good run. I don't want to win 100% of the time. Nobody wants a 100% win rate. If you win every game, it's not hard enough, you know? All right, so let's try again. We got a little bit left of the the deck. I think that there's enough for one more run through here, but we might be 1 card short. I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we are 1 card short because we did have that steal 1 card out of the thing, and, you know. So we will just set these cards aside. We'll take our normal deck here and give it like the loosest shuffle. Shuffling these large, like, I don't know, 4x6 cards that are sleeved, functionally impossible, but you know, whatever. And we'll just take 1 out and add it into the deck there. Okay, so this is basically our kind of like final. Did I get that wrong? Make sure we have enough cards here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, yeah. So yeah, this is essentially our final run through of the base game. We have used characters from the expansions, but all the cards we've used, the bosses, the encounter cards, whatever, those are all just base game cards. There's quite a bit here that we can use to sort of tweak the difficulty. Tweak is maybe a little bit generous. It's like, you know, if we use the death dice, on average, they're going to make the game harder. We get to take a character flaw as a way of like evening that out. It feels a little disproportionately hard for 2 players instead of more than 2. I also think that I'm supposed to maybe be rolling all the combat cards at once. I wonder if I should look that up. It's felt fine to do it sequentially and be able to rest. That felt like reasonable, you know? But I wonder what it says. Yeah. We decide to rest before starting combat. I don't know. I feel like the way we've been playing it has felt right for me. I'm going to continue doing that. Strictly speaking, with the rules as written, if we defeated a combat with one guy and the other guy had chosen to attack, they would be stuck attacking. We'd kind of roll the dice simultaneously, but to hell with that. It's one of the few things, like that's a little tweak, like that's an example. We can kind of tweak it and play it slightly differently there just to avoid it being like just super RNG heavy. So we got the Smith and the Hunter. Now the Hunter is extraordinarily high cunning. So this is like the character we needed last time, but he has no might and no like one side of his die has he basically, yeah, he has 1 might and he has 1 wisdom, and everything else on this die is cunning. This is totally the character we needed last time. If the Smith is really high cunning, I think we'll just start over. Oh no, he's not. He's in fact very low cunning and high on the other traits. So this is a balanced team, unless we RNG and just like end up with, you know, we got the might task on the Hunter and the cunning task on the Smith or whatever. Let's start over here. We'll put the Smith in the lead. He's a little more well-rounded. And let's see how this goes. Leaving behind your despicable confinement at last, you hurry to the foretold location and pray the legend is true. Carefully feeling for the mechanism, you gasp as the wall recedes. You found the secret passage. Discard a chapter card from the castle deck without looking at it. In the tunnel beyond, a lone barrel stands sentinel in the darkness. Draw 1 item card now. Okay, so last time it was longer. We had 2 item cards per player, but got an extra chapter card as sort of a penalty for that. We get kind of the opposite here. It's a shorter, but I think we got armor, the rotten shield. When we would lose HP, reduce the amount by 1 down to a minimum of 1. We can't ever take 0 damage, but 2 damage becomes 1 damage is huge. We'll put that on our Hunter because our Hunter's the less well-rounded of the two. You emerge into a cold, dimly lit passage you do not recognize. From here, your path to freedom will be fraught with danger. You hear whispers on the air. There is no time to lose. Jesus Christ. This is what we find immediately? Okay. The smell of manure is thick as you enter this chamber, flanked by wooden animal stalls. An agitated beast of burden has broken free of its pen and now blocks your way. It is cornered, mighty horns, ready to gouge anyone who gets close. Each round, when it attacks this creature, deals an additional 1 HP of damage to any players who hit it. Okay, so this is a cunning and 2 player dice, which we got 2 might. All right. Let's get the Smith in there. He blocks and does wisdom, which is not at all useful. And our Hunter over here, he does wisdom and doesn't block. Okay, so the good news is he doesn't hit him, which means he doesn't take extra damage. So he will only take 1 damage. He'll block 1 damage with his shield. This guy blocks entirely. We're good to go. Let's try actually hitting it, though. We fail again with this Smith. And we get cunning and a block over here. So we won't take any damage on either character. Nice. Our Smith fails in the same way. Again, is this die loaded or something? Like, what is this? Okay, and we get the very samey roll. None of this is helping us. More cunning, more failure. We need might, boys and girls. More cunning. Okay, so the good news is we didn't hit him. The bad news is we still take damage. Can we roll might? Thank God. There's a might. Does our Hunter just rest? Yeah, he just rests. Our smith's gonna take 2 damage though. He's the only one. He's got might on like most sides of this die, but you wouldn't think so from our rolls to date. Okay, there it is. And we're doing. I'm cheesing where we're doing these independently, so that we can rest.
Time to drink.
Thank you for taking care of me. All right, let's get an item that lets us heal, maybe. We got a shield and a curse. We basically top. There's 4 curses in this deck of like 50 cards. You may not rest while marked for death. This is our smith. Whenever you take damage from a cultist, you lose an additional 1 HP. When your HP is below half its starting level, you must use the cult die instead of your character die. Place this curse card beside your character card. It cannot be removed. I don't know which die is the cult die. I don't know. This is obviously from one of the expansions, the curse cards. I don't remember which one it is. So let's see if we can find that out. This one. The cult die. Joining the cult happens when you get below half until your health is restored to half or higher. So attacking when on less than half health, you roll the cult die instead of your character die. If you roll a white-sided result, you've successfully resisted the corruption of the cult. If you roll a black-sided result, for the remainder of combat, you will be working against your fellow prisoners. Okay, you know what? This is going to be a loss. This is going to be a loss, but we will run with it. We will suffer our fate. Oh, it has a 50% chance of being a bad result. Okay, we're basically screwed because we have to then if we roll this result, we have to add it to the enemy, which like this is one of the few. It's a shits and giggles game. It's light. I don't care too much, but it's like this disproportionately affects us with 2 players instead of 4. With 4 players, we'd have a much more balanced group of things. We'd have more opportunities to deal with this. Adding 1 die from going from 3 to 4 is a big deal from going, bigger deal than going from 5 to 6. And we have 1 chance to do it with a character who only has cunning instead of a bunch of characters that have everything, Anyway, we'll run it down. It'll be over soon. We'll try and keep him above half health. That's our hack against that, Okay. With a piercing wail, a hideous creature emerges from the darkness ahead. It drools at the sight of you. Oh, we may not rest on this guy, so there will be no healing. That basically we lost the game because we top decked that card. As a group, choose one option and begin combat. Surround the beast and attack from all sides, or stay together and fight on the move. We can never rest with this guy. I don't know. Let's just surround him. Let's surround him. All we need is might. You know what? We're going to give the shield to this guy. What do we get? That's wisdom. I think that this die might be literally oh my god. Okay, so we just take 3 damage each. 2 damage on him. It'll all be over soon. We've almost never rolled might, and might is on 4 sides of this die. Oh, I guess it's only on 3, but still. We got 1. Thank God. And the hunter only gets cunning results, so unlucky. 2 damage here. We get 1 more damage. We're the cultist. There's cunning. We're beating the odds here. Okay. Our hunter got double cunning, so he blocks at least. 3 damage here. We're now a cultist. Oh, look at that. We need cunning, and it's just 1v whatever. We're just going to lose on this fight. Well, we eliminated the cunning, but I think this guy just never helps us again. Like, for this fight. All right. So it's just us with only cunning against the 2 might. Whoops. Oh, hey, we got one. It's cool. Take 3 damage. Oh, we got another one. So that was extremely unlikely. But we're half dead. We're on the second card of the game. Did you miss me? Pronoun progressive lower. I gotta fix that. Discard to apply a cunning a single time. Well, I guess we give that to the smith because we know we've got lots of cunning over here. Wouldn't want to heal or anything. As these 3 old women draw near, you notice their feet do not touch the ground. With a cackle, they lunge, probing for you with withered hands and rotten tongues. The first time the risen hags are defeated, before drawing an item card, roll a chapter die. If it's wisdom, they regenerate. Okay, so we get wisdom and 2 chapter dice. Cunning, of course. That's actually good for us with our hunter. Let's get in there. We got a might, the only result we didn't need. And we got a cunning. Nice. So 1 damage here and 1 damage here. Ah. A cunning. Oh my god. And a cunning, unsurprisingly, because that's what all the hunter gets. So we're going to take a damage here and a damage here. We got the wisdom that we need. And I'm definitely... whatever. Okay, so we got to roll a chapter die, and we get wisdom, they regenerate. We did not, though. So let's get an item card. Infested cheese wheel. We're just going to eat that and restore 1 HP to all characters. Huge. You sense something strange in this chamber. It doesn't look strange, it looks terrifying. There is a sudden drop in temperature and the air grows still. Then you see it. As a group, choose one option. We can flee. And this really should have been on the hunter, but it's on the smith. We'll live with it. Lose 2 HP, or we can fight it. And anytime our smith rolls might, there's no way we can lose might on our smith. Our hunter basically doesn't roll anything other than cunning. Whoops. Okay, we lose 2 HP. We just bypass it. We move on. A hooded man approaches. He looks cautiously over his shoulder, then whispers, asking, "Do you wish to trade?" Each player may choose one option. Trade, discard any item and draw 2 more. Or negotiate, try to roll a double in 1 attempt. I think we could discard a cunning concoction and draw 2 items. Liquid luck and the fury shard. Once per round of combat, when you roll a double, you may roll again and apply both results. That's crazy. And liquid luck. Okay. And then, we could trade him the liquid luck we just got in order to draw 2 items. Elixir of Insight and a partially rotten apple. We're going to feed that to our smith immediately. That was super worth it. You ascend a narrow spiral staircase, emerging onto a windswept bell tower. As you cross the tower, the bell swings into life, its dreary peal shaking your very bones. Any player who cannot roll wisdom or a double in 1 attempt loses 2 HP as the sound begins to drive them insane. Nailed it. Failed it. All right. You stumble upon a recently vacated guard room. A pot of steaming broth simmers on the stove, and a fire still smolders in the grate. You hear the sound of angry voices and footsteps heading your way. You grab what you can before slipping away into the darkness beyond. Draw an item card. Effervescent evasion. Okay. You can avoid damage one time. The aroma of hot food has led you to the kitchens. On a table near the door is a steaming meat pie. Don't ask what type of meat. As a group, choose one option. Move on. It's not worth the risk. Steal. Nominate a player to roll 2 cunning in 3 attempts. Okay, we got the hunter. The hunter is like super cunning. Surely he can do it. He's going to steal. The hunter is going to steal the pie. 3 attempts. We got a might. We got a wisdom. And we got a double cunning. Okay, saved. The pie is delicious and filling. All players gain 1 HP. Not even close. You hear a scream from behind and turn around too late to avoid the clutches of a lurching ghoul. As a group, choose one option. You flee, but we lose 2 HP shaking off the ghoul, or we begin combat. He does 2 damage each time. Let's just take our damage and run away. This passageway suddenly fills with harsh, whispered curses. Flames leap from the wall-mounted torches to take on the form of a demonic warrior. Tongues of arcane fire surging from its charred skull. As a group, choose one option. Flee. We all lose 2 HP. Yikes. Or we fight it, and whoever deals the final blow loses 1 HP as the demon vanishes in a burst of flame which cannot be blocked. I think we run. And we reduce the HP we lose on this guy to 1 because of his shield. And we can use our effervescent evasion to reduce it to 0. But I think we want to actually reduce like a 3 or more HP thing. So we'll just face tank it. A skeletal form lies slumped in the corner of this dark chamber. Beneath the dust of ages, it still clutches a moldering map. As a group, choose one option. Something isn't right here. Or we can steal the map. We have to roll 2 wisdom in 3 attempts. That would get us 2 item cards. Or end up with us fighting the thing. The chance of us rolling 2 wisdom, let's be honest, extremely low. We're moving on. We're moving through this deck. We're getting a lot further than anticipated. I think we're still going to lose, but maybe not. You turn a corner and step right into the path of 2 guards. They exchange a puzzled look, then lunge to restrain you. As a group, choose one option. You force your way past them, but not before taking several glancing blows. Each player loses 1 HP, or we fight them. It's only 2 combat dice, but they do 2 damage each time. An item would be really nice right now, though. Let's try fighting. Of course, we got all cunning all the time. Well, there's the one of the cunning that we need. And now this is a cultist, and he's just going to stand there, and I forgot about that as a mechanic when I decided to attack. So we're going to discard our effervescent evasion to not take any damage. We're going to do a cunning, and we're going to lose 2 health, and we're probably going to lose the game. Oh, we blocked. That's big. We could discard this Elixir of Insight to change this to anything of our choice. Let's change it to Cunning. That's, of course, what we have a lot of. And there's Cunning. Okay, so we defeated it. We're at 2 HP. We gain an item. That was definitely not worth it. Distilled Wisdom. Amazing. We're going to put this on here. And I forgot James every stream. What do you mean? Come on, I don't forget that much. Where there was once flesh and fur, the bones of a skeletal beast now cackle with the menacing power of dark magic. Whenever you would remove a chapter die by hitting this enemy, roll it instead. If the result is wisdom, do not remove it. Put it back wisdom side up. Okay, so this guy's going to hit us for 2 damage, which means he's going to kill our hunter if our hunter participates in combat. So for this first round, our hunter is going to rest. And we're going to fight. We got a cunning. Not ideal. 2 damage. And then we're going to fight. Oh, look at that. He's now on the enemy team and we lose the game. 2 cunning. But we block. So we don't lose yet. And we can apply a wisdom with our thing. Here, get rid of that. I guess that comes back over here. Oh, look at that. We block again, but we don't do any damage. We just got 2 cunning. And then there it is. There's the wisdom. We take 2 damage. And there's a block again. And there's a cunning that we don't need. And we take 2 damage and we lose. So this marked for death curse I would describe as extraordinarily anti-fun. Lose half of your team members and continue like it's just that. In a 4-player game, whatever. Occasionally you're going to have an extra die to deal with and you have 3 people. But going from 2 people actively involved to 1 sucks. So I'm extremely surprised we made it as far as we did. We almost made it through the whole deck. We had 1 more encounter here and then the boss, but not quite there. Not quite there. I think I'm just going to set this marked for death curse aside because I think that's an important thing about board games. That's one thing that's always really nice about them specifically compared to, say, video games or whatever. They're very malleable. You know, you can play them with house rules or whatever to suit your fancy, like whatever, to make it good, to make it perfect for you, the perfect game for you or whatever, right? So, for instance, I'm allowing myself to heal in the event that, like, rest essentially in the event that I conclude a combat with only one of my characters. The other character hasn't kind of done anything yet. Strictly speaking, I don't think that's how it's supposed to work. I don't care. So anyhow, let's see. We'll try one more run through. Since we failed, we'll just shuffle all the cards back in together, and I mean there are the other ones. We could try and pick a balanced team. Maybe that's the other thing we could do. We could try and pick a balanced team and play like specifically like one of these other scenarios here. Like the Undead Queen includes a bunch of additional cards, 15 chapter cards, and the companions. Yeah, sure. Why don't we try this Undead Queen? I don't think we've ever actually done this one. So we take these 15 cards specifically. This is the Death Knight, so it's not that one. I don't know how I'm going to know. They're not meaningfully marked in any way whatsoever. That I find very surprising. Oh, it does have Undead Queen, UQ, DC UQ. That's got to be the Unending Queen. Is that what it's called? Undead, not unending. What am I saying? Okay. I want at least one of these to look like the correct one that I see pictured in the book here. That's it. Okay, cool. We recommend playing it with the chapter cards in number order right out of the box the first time you play it. Well, I guess I will unshuffle these then. Whoops. Good news is I hadn't shuffled them very much. All right, that wasn't hard to do. Though I imagine they're supposed to go one to 15, not 15 to 1. I don't know if that's true or not, but I think so. So we're going to try it. We're going to see. Okay, place the Undead Queen boss card face down. So, we don't need the Demented Priestess. Yee, scary. We instead need the Undead Queen, which should be in here, I think. There she is. Looking pretty. All right, Undead Queen. 15 cards in order. We'll pick a random start card again. So, I don't know, shuffling 3 cards is hard. I'll just forget it. Boy, those cards look big. They are quite big, you know? They're like, whatever, 4x6. All right, we need the companion event cards. And these, I think. Okay. We're going to take the curses out, actually. Because the curses are really for when we're playing the other scenario. And I didn't have a lot of fun getting cursed. That sucked. Oh, I guess we got to get these guys in here, too. Our other couple items. Also, welcome in. All right, so we got to choose 2 new characters. I think that this is going to be a slightly harder scenario. We should probably actually just like pick a sort of somewhat balanced team as an idea. So let's try and pick something from what's left over, though, that we have not yet used. So what do we got? We got the Fletcher, the Bishop, the Mason, the Miller, the Tanner, and the Tailor. So the Fletcher, like basically the Mason and the Bishop, these are from like the expansion. They look very upset. I think these ones are harder to use in the single player, you know? So what do we got? The Tailor. Nobody's got a lot of might. All right, let's just take these middle 2. Let's play with the Tanner and the Miller. That's a vaguely balanced group. The Miller and the Tailor. All right, so trying to escape the Dark Castle. We got to work through this entire deck. This is a specific scenario, the Undead Queen. So we know that at the very bottom of this deck here, this is the Undead Queen herself, the boss. If we defeat her, we escape. If at any time between now and then we die, or either character dies, we lose. We start at 18 HP. Our Tanner over here has lots of wisdom, decent cunning, and is not particularly mighty. And then conversely, not really, but our Miller is cunning, decent amount of might, not particularly wise. Okay, we're going to use the gratuitously heavy U marker to indicate who's resolving the card each time. Often there's specific effects for that character. So we'll start with the Miller for that. And there are a couple new event cards in here that allow us to get companions. We'll figure that out if that happens. This event deck or item deck is quite thick. The most likely single thing is that we don't see them. So we'll figure that out when we get there. I think they're pretty straightforward, though. All right. After years of incarceration in the depths of the dark castle, you finally break free of your cell. In a small stone room, adjoining the cell block, stands an old wooden chest. The lock is open. Draw an item card per player now. Okay, so we found a decayed blade and Rengorn's rune. Man, we have gotten these consistently throughout. The decayed blade lets us reroll wisdom. So if we put that on our Tanner, who's very wise, that gives us a lot of chances for reroll. And when we reroll, we get to pick which one. So that's really handy. And Rengorn's rune is whenever we roll a double, we can change it to a single and take that instead. The challenge there, of course, is that doubles generally allow us to block and singles do not. But that's okay. Situationally, extremely useful. You hear footsteps approaching. You must not linger here. You make for the exit, slipping away and disappearing into the darkness. As you feel your way along this lightless passage, a faint whispering sound reaches your ears. It is a single word, hissed bitterly over and over. Mine, mine, mine. The sound grows closer at a rapid rate, becoming a scream as a clawed hand is thrust towards you from the darkness. Mine. You must choose one option. That's our Miller here. You. Flee. You all get away, but the Miller has to either lose 2 HP in an item or 3 HP, or we just fight. Let's fight. She's only 1 damage. So we start with a cunning. It shows us here that we need 1 cunning die and then 1 die per character. So we're going to take 2 other dice and roll them. We got all cunning. This is harkening back to last run where we died horribly because we weren't cunning enough. But that's okay. We have to decide who's going to rest, who's going to participate. Everyone's going to participate right now. We rolled a might. Pretty worthless for us. And a might. Extremely worthless for us. So we absolutely flub it. They're going to attack for 1 damage. Let's try that again. Okay, we rolled a wisdom. We can use our decayed blade to re-roll that. And we can pick whichever result. That didn't really help us. We got the double wisdom. Still not removing any dice, but we can block, so we at least won't take damage. And we got double might. So we could choose any single result with our rune, but then we're going to take damage instead. So we're going to take this moment to reflect on the fact that exactly what happened last run is happening again. We apparently cannot roll cunning. We're gonna accept that as our fate. We're gonna block the damage and we're gonna try again. Hey, there it is. 2 cunning. So we're gonna remove 2 of these and we block. And 2 might and we block. So let's just use our ability. We'll flip that to a cunning. We'll remove this cunning. And this guy is now dead. So overall, we took 1 damage each. Not too bad. This is a very attrition-based game. We don't want to take damage for free very often, but so be it. And after combat, we get an item. So what do we get? Distilled Wisdom. Discard to apply a single wisdom at any time. Let's put that on our Miller because he only has 1 wisdom present on his die. That one. So that's going to help him out a lot more than the Tanner, who has a lot of wisdom available. All right. Half concealed in the gloom ahead, a hooded man is crouched, examining something just out of sight. He notices you, hisses a curse, and suddenly unleashes spiked projectiles from his sling. It strikes your brow, and you fall dazed to the stone floor. You lose 1 HP. Lame. He hit us with a rock right between the eyes. That sucks. You are helped to your feet, and upon reaching the spot where the figure stood, you find a stone tomb forced open. The grave robber has fled, but you appear to have interrupted him before he could collect his spoils. Draw an item card. All right. We found a brew of might, which allows us to get a might any one time. That's great for our tanner, or sorry, yes, our tanner, who only has one might. So perfect. This is actually like a really good setup so far. All right, let's let our tanner lead the way because she's incrementally healthier than our miller. This passage is littered with scraps of rotting flesh, torn clothing, and human bones. Before long, you arrive at the source of it. A snarling bone beast claws at the ground, shaping to pounce. As a group, choose one option, then begin combat. So we show no fear and charge it. This means that we only have 2 dice to deal with, but he's going to do 3 damage every time. Or we bait it out and strike on the counter. So we're going to have 4 dice to deal with instead of 2 dice, but only 1 damage each time. 3 is a lot, and we have no defensive items. So let's bait it out. We're going to bait it out. We have a might, a cunning, and the other 2 dice, which are both wisdom. All right. The tanner. Wait, this is the tailor's die. That's not the tanner. Okay, well, there's no undoing that, but we'll just live with our mistake. That explains some things a little bit. All right, the tanner does 2 wisdom. I'm glad I noticed that. And will block. Huge. We could discard to apply a single might, but I think we should save that. We're only going to take 1 damage. I mean, we're blocking also, so what do we got? A cunning. Okay, so we're going to take 1 damage on the miller. And maybe for this next round of combat, we need might. She doesn't have a lot of might, but she could use her brew of might. So why doesn't the miller rest? He'll heal 1. We'll roll and see if we can do it, which we failed. But we can just discard our brew of might in order to do that last might and defeat the evil bone beast. We get an item. The healing verses. Whenever you roll a double, you may restore 1 HP to any character. Huge. Huge. All right. In this foul-smelling passage, rotten, mutilated corpses are beginning to force their way up through the floorboards. They reach out for you with an unnatural lust glowing in the hollows of their skulls. There's an opportunity to dash past one at a time before more corpses arise. Each player in turn must roll their character die along with 2 chapter dice. After rolling, a player loses 2 HP for each chapter die they rolled, which matches their character die. If a player rolls a double or rolls no matches, they make it through unscathed. All right, we'll start with our tanner. We got 1 match, so we're going to lose 2 HP. That sucks. And then our miller here got 1 match and is going to lose 2 HP as well. Unlucky. Could have been worse, though. Could have been worse. I rise again, ever, to harvest souls for the armies of my queen. Oh, he just fights us just like that. Begin combat. The first time the resurrected king is defeated, draw an item card as normal, and then reinsert this chapter card into the castle deck face down on top of the boss card. You will encounter him again. Okay. So 1 wisdom and 2 character dice. We got 2 might. Not our favorite, but not horrible. I guess it's the thing that we have the least of. We only have, 4 might. We have, 4 might. We have 5 wisdom and 7 cunning. No cunning represented here. Okay, so this guy only does 1 damage. That's not bad. Why don't we fight him with the tanner and we'll rest on the miller and try to recover some health. The tanner rolled a cunning. Exactly wrong. You fail, tanner. Take a damage. Let's let's flip-flop that. Let's let the Tanner rest one, and we'll have the Miller roll. The Miller also rolled Cunning. Exactly wrong. We're going to just try that again. We'll heal one on the Tanner, taking advantage of the fact that this guy's damage is really low. We rolled a Wisdom, and we're going to take a damage. And we're going to do the opposite. The Miller's going to take a break, the Tanner's going to roll. Trying to min-max here. Okay, we got 2 Cunning, which doesn't help us whatsoever, but whenever you roll a double, you may restore 1 HP to any character. Huge. We're going to actually just like abuse this and try and, you know, get there. We're going to rest again, and we're going to try again. We got a Wisdom, which means we can re-roll. We got a Cunning, so it doesn't matter which one we pick. In both cases, we're going to take a damage and be sad. So we're going to rest, and we're going to send our Miller in. I've never abused this so aggressively. We get our 1 might, and she has almost no might. Let's let her rest again. And there's our other might that we need. So we're not going to take any damage. He's dead. We gain an item. The replication stones. Whenever you roll a single, it counts as 2 singles of that trait. That is ludicrously good. I don't know how we ended up with so many relics, but we don't care. We'll take it. And we're going to set this guy just on top of the boss card like it told us to. All right. All who wish to reach their goal must pass inspection of the soul. To pass through the gatekeeper's archway, each player must choose 1 option. Open your soul to the gatekeeper. Try to roll Wisdom in 1 attempt. If you succeed, you gain 1 HP. If you fail, you lose 2 HP. Or you pay in blood as punishment for your cowardice. You lose 1 HP, smearing your blood upon the archway stones to pass. Okay, the likelihood that our Miller rolls Wisdom is really low, right? He only has 1 die face that has Wisdom on it, and he doesn't get any fancy rerolls or nothing. So he's just going to lose 1. He's going to shamefully smear blood upon the wall as he walks on by. Our Tanner, on the other hand, is exceedingly wise and will give it a go. She failed and loses 2 HP. That's okay. These things happen. These things happen. You hear the sound of clattering hooves growing closer. Only when the sound is almost upon you does the horseman materialize, galloping furiously, weapon drawn, back to strike. He's got a big nasty flail. That would do some damage. You, that's our Tanner, must try to roll Cunning or a double in 1 attempt. All right, let's give it a whirl. That is Wisdom. Failure. You are struck and thrown to the floor. Lose 2 HP. Begin combat. Wow. Damn. Okay. We need a little bit of everything this time. All right, Tanner, you're angry. Get in there. Get in there. Wisdom. We really want more doubles, honestly. All right, Miller, you're angry. Get in there. Cunning. We really want more doubles, honestly. Whenever you roll a single, it counts as 2 singles. Okay, but Cunning, he doesn't have 2 Cunning. All right, he's going to do 2 damage to each of us. Yikes. Let's let our Tanner sit 1 out, and we're going to try and roll Might on our Miller here and end this guy. We didn't. We rolled 2 Cunning, but we could change it to a single, but I think we're just going to block, and we're going to just heal up again. We're going to rest up 1 more time, and we're going to try again. We got the exact same results. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to rest up, and we're going to try again. Okay, we got a single Might, but a Might counts as 2 singles of that trait. This guy's dead. That is a OP relic, because singles are, of course, the most common result on any of these dice. So, huge. Okay, we get an item. Effervescent Evasion. This allows us to discard this to lose no HP. Honestly, I think our relics are way better than this. So we'll just toss that aside. Oh my, we found a creepy pile of bones here. To continue here, you must first scale a crumbling wall of bone. That's a big wall. As a group, agree upon a climbing order, first to last, and then roll your character dice simultaneously. Next, in climbing order, check each die. If a player has rolled might or a double, they have succeeded. Okay, so we're gonna send the Tanner up first. No, wait. We're gonna send the Miller up first because we actually want to succeed in order. And we want to roll might. The Miller's better at rolling might. So we'll roll with the Miller first. We did not. If they rolled might or a double, they've succeeded. Okay, so the Tanner succeeded. If the first climber succeeds, they make it safely to the top. If any other climber succeeds, they cling to the wall, ready to catch any number of falling players from above. If any climber fails, they fall unless a climber below them succeeds, catching them. If no climbers below a falling player succeed, the falling player hits the ground and loses 1 HP. Remaining climbers should repeat this process together until all players reach the top. Okay, so the Tanner saved the Miller and has now reached the top, I think. And now the Miller has to go. Failed and loses an HP and then makes it. I think I resolved that correctly. Say that I did. A host of cursed spirits is gloomily carrying out the endless procession to which they have been damned. Clear your minds to avoid detection. All players must roll their character die simultaneously once, and no wisdom must be rolled. If any player rolls wisdom, the spirits detect your presence and silently converge to attack. Okay. Well, the Tanner rolled wisdom. Thanks for nothing, Tanner. Way to be wise. All right. If all players roll wisdom in the same round of combat, the spirits are immediately defeated. Interesting. Okay. Cunning, wisdom, 2 dice. Cunning and wisdom. I mean, we need wisdom. Our Tanner is the healthiest. Let's get in there. We got a wisdom. We got double might. Unlucky. Okay, so we'll get rid of 1 wisdom. Our might doesn't do anything. But we could change it to any single, which then counts as a double. Or as 2 singles. We'd take 1 damage, though. Let's do that. Let's change it to a single cunning, which counts as 2 cunning. That's super abusable. Happy to abuse it. We each take a damage, though. We need wisdom. I think our Miller's going to sit this one out. He'll rest, and our Tanner will roll. A cunning. Not ideal. Lose 1 health. I think our Miller's still going to rest, and our Tanner will go. That's a double cunning. We get to restore 1 HP to any character. We'll pick her. But doesn't help us win. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to just keep resting because we really aren't going to get wisdom over here. And apparently not over here either. Jesus. There it is. Okay, so we finally defeat them. And we're moving on. We're going to switch this over here. We'll resolve things with our Miller because he's a little healthier. We get an item. Infested cheese wheel. We'll just eat that immediately. Nom 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 nom. Restore 1 HP to all characters. And we'll keep on keeping on. I think we're doing really well at this point. Having 3 relics and a weapon that's well suited to our character is definitely beating the odds, you know? The passage ahead is suddenly illuminated by a gentle, fluttering apparition. For a moment, you feel a deep sense of calm as you watch it swirl and tumble through the air, beckoning you. Ghosts that beckon you. Universally a bad idea to listen to. Anyhow, as you watch, it reaches out, gesturing repeatedly to a section of the old stone wall. As you draw near, the apparition withdraws, fading away as your ears fill with the loving whispers of long-lost loved ones. Breaking from the reverie, you hurry forward. In a crevice hidden in the shadow of a gated arch, you find a concealed stash. Draw 2 item cards. Okay, so this was just a helpful, nice, kind ghost. A partially rotten apple and an event. Okay, so we'll eat the partially rotten apple and the event. A castle guard springs from the shadows and levels his spear at you. He looks you up and down, then lowers his weapon and lets out a beat of gruff laughter. What a sorry-looking lot, he says. If you're after getting out, follow me. The defecting guard has joined your group. So this is the event that we discussed. Oh my god, he is hideously ugly. So he is a companion. So I think we basically have a third character. Let's zip through the rules real quick. We didn't read these because we weren't sure if this was going to happen. They can be controlled by any player. They work just like any other member of the group. They have starting HP. Unlike player characters, when a companion's HP reaches 0, we don't lose. They simply leave your party. Leave your party, aka we step over their still warm corpse and continue going to the end of the dungeon. Okay, when a companion is in play, they can lead into chapters, becoming the subject of U effects. They can fight rounds of combat and attempt challenges. They take damage in combat as normal. They can rest in combat to restore HP as normal. So it's really like we have a third character here. They cannot carry items. They can be nominated to draw item cards. Okay, so that would be like for if a curse happens or something. They each have a unique characteristic, which is explained on their card. And they have a special ability. Oh. Yes, we need the guard die. Okay, they do not count as player count towards our cards of... We basically have an extra die to use now. This guy's got some sort of special ability. And for fights where we put out a thing per character, it does not count for that. So this is actually a huge boon. So let's see. The defecting guard. Characteristic. He's a spearman. If the defecting guard hits an enemy during a round of combat, that enemy does not attack that round. Oh my gosh, that is powerful. And his special ability, so that's if he rolls the side of his die. Secret passage. Quick, you lot, inside. The guard hisses, pushing aside a hidden door in the old stone wall. As you hurry down the dark passage beyond, you hear the portal behind you grinding to a close. The guard is nowhere to be seen. The current chapter ends immediately, and without any further effect, discard the next chapter card along with this companion. So you basically skip 2 chapter cards in the event you roll this during combat. Okay, that's wild, but I think it'd be more useful to have him kind of out and about. So we're going to keep him... I don't know. We're going to keep him over here, I guess. And, oh, his die I need to fix with like a Sharpie or something. It's a little sad on this one face. Okay. Crazy. Here, a nameless prisoner has been set alight and left to burn at the stake. As the smell of this melting flesh fills your nostrils, you witness the spirit exiting his body. You notice a sack has been thrown near the fire, but is not yet fully consumed by the flames. As a group, choose an option. We either move on, there's no place to meddle, or we nominate a player to try to roll wisdom in one attempt. You know what? Let's move on. We got great items. We don't need to... I don't want to steal items from somebody who is burned alive, whose soul is leaving their body. There's like some bad mojo there. That doesn't feel right. Let's keep on keeping on. You are set upon by a horde of reanimated skeleton warriors. You become separated and each player must fight alone. I think this includes this guy. Roll a chapter die in front of each player to represent the skeleton attacking them. Okay, we'll start with a guard. Tanner. And that's the miller. However, the skeletons can sense weakness. Players with less than half of their starting HP must roll 2. Okay, we didn't. No player can rest until the skeleton attacking them are defeated. They may then either rest or help another player. Okay, so just like other, things like this. So, what do we get? The guard got cunning. Suboptimal. The tanner got double cunning, which eliminates that, and we can heal anyone for 1. Oh, she'll heal herself. And then the miller got also double cunning. But that's not what we needed. So big fail. So they're going to take a damage, and this guy's going to take a damage. I don't have a great way of tracking that. We're going to use this nice forbidden candy desiccant as his HP. He'll have 3. We'll take 1 away. I think it said that we use him, that he's like a player. I think. Yeah, this should be considered players, with the exception of in fights for chapter dice. Okay. So no player can rest until the skeletons attacking them are dead. Okay, so let's have our tanner attack and help out the guard is what I had intended. I mean, I think we get to just roll it and see. We did get 1 HP, so we can heal our guard. And our guard can roll, and rolls cunning again. Big fail. They're most likely to roll cunning, so that's going to be a problem. And what's our miller do? Our miller rolled might. Not what they needed either. So overall, a bit of a flub. 1 damage here, 1 damage there. Okay. That sucks. Tanner is going to help out again. Might, which is what we need to help the guard. Nice. Our guard's going to just rest. And our miller gets a might. Not what he needed. Okay. They're both going to help out. Or the guard will help out. Oh, we got his special ability. So we basically immediately end this chapter. And this and the next chapter get discarded. And then this guy's gone. So we got his special ability. But, oh, I was zoomed in that whole time. That sucks. Anyways, he abandoned us. And on that healthy or happy note, I'm going to abandon you guys. I need to take a quick break. I will be right back. All right, friends, we are back. Let's continue. We have had a unusually successful run so far. I think that we're pretty healthy overall. We've got great items, and the defecting guard was pretty cool. But I wish he would have stayed with us. He showed us the secret way and then he pieced out. But oh well. Still moved us well ahead. We're like almost at the boss now. This guy looks kind of nasty though. The vast chamber rises high into the darkness above. There, a pair of blood-red eyes pierces the black, slowly descending. The creature lands before you, a trace of spectral smoke rising from its bony nostrils. As a group, choose one option, then begin combat. So we rush the dragon, the bone dragon, and deny it flight. This is the same thing as kind of always. It's either we're taking 3 damage around or 2 damage around. I think in this case we're gonna rush it. So it's got a might and then 1 die per character. It's got a little bit of everything here. And I think we just want to fight it. So Tanner gets a cunning. And the Miller also gets a cunning. Womp, womp, womp. That's disappointing. And of course, we're going to take 3 damage from it here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna flub this. I'm gonna mess this up. That's okay. We're gonna attack it again with both. We get another cunning and another a wisdom here. Hey, 3 damage each. Oof. Suddenly our good run is looking awful. What do we need? We need a might. We have almost no chance of might on her, so she's just going to heal 1. And we roll the cunning again. Why is it always cunning? We're basically losing the game now. So that really sucks. Okay. She heals again. This is gone. Oh, that was rough. Elixir of Insight, that doesn't help us heal. We're down to 4 HP on this guy. We were like sitting here like having a perfect run, and then we were just quite unlucky there. The Towering Reanimated Corpse. Oh, I got these in the wrong order. That's okay. Of a cyclopean giant lumbers towards you, an enormous boulder raised above its head. The brute is slow and can be outrun. To dodge past, all players must simultaneously endure his 3 attacks. All players must try to roll wisdom or a double in 1 attempt. Okay. Wisdom or a double. We got wisdom and a double, so no damage. That was his boulder throw. Now he's going to try to stamp us. All players must roll cunning or a double in 1 attempt. Neither of us rolled cunning, so we're each going to take 1 damage. Also, I think I rolled a double. I can use my healing verses. On the last one, we must roll might or a double, and players that fail lose 1 HP. Okay. Well, we have mostly lost a bunch of HP. If you survive, turn the next chapter card. This is the last one before the boss. We know exactly who it is. It's the king. We fought him the first time. We still get an item card this time. We need a wisdom and a cunning, which is great for us. Not a lot of might here because the Tanner is going to do all the work. We're going to rest on the Miller because he is so hurt, and the Tanner is going to fight because we kind of abused this last time. Oh, look at that. We just got our double. We're going to block the damage, and we can heal 1. We'll heal out on the Miller, of course. And then the Tanner's going to fight again. We got a wisdom. We can re-roll that. We got a might. Neither of those help us. So we're going to lose 1 health here, but he's going to heal 1. And we're going to try again. We got a wisdom. We can re-roll that. We got a cunning. That's what we need. So he will die. We'll gain 1 more health here, and we'll get an item. So we're at 8 and 7 HP. Not terrible, not great, though. And a Rotten Shield, which lets us block damage. whenever you would lose HP, reduce the amount you lose by 1. I mean, I think these other things are going to be... I mean, Rengorn's Rune... I don't know. This is such a wombo... Let's just get... We don't want a shield. Forget it. We haven't needed that this whole time. We're not doing that. We're getting in there. We're attacking the undead queen. Die, so your soul can be mine to torture for all eternity. Chapter dice removed from the queen each round must be rolled and added to a pool. At the beginning of each new round, for every pair of dice in the pool that match, discard 1 die and put the other into play as a spirit. At least one player must attack the queen each round, but the other players may choose to attack spirits instead. The queen and spirits only attack the players attacking them. If no one is attacking a spirit, it attacks all players. The queen and all spirits must be defeated. That sounds horrible. Queen does 3 damage, which is going to kill us in like 3 rounds. All right, what do we got? Okay, so the queen has 3 wisdom, 2 cunning, and a might. There's no spirits yet, but as we remove dupes, their spirits will enter. All right, let's fight. Boom. Double cunning. That means we can heal 1. We'll heal on him. These are removed. And we only resolve the pool at the beginning of each round. We rolled a single wisdom, but that means that we get... whenever you roll a single, it counts as 2 singles. So we get rid of 2. So the good news here is that the queen is almost dead. She's going to attack us. We block it here. We take 3 damage here. 1, 2, 3. The bad news is that there's now going to be 2 spirits. So these are gone, but there's... this is the things for the pool. These are the spirits. So... for every pair of dice in the pool, discard 1 and put the other into play as a spirit. So this is a spirit, and this is a spirit. Okay, so somebody has to attack the queen. Spirits that are being attacked only attack the player that's attacking them. Spirits that aren't being attacked attack everyone. So because he's lower health, he's going to attack the spirits. She's going to attack the queen, even though she doesn't have a lot of chance of rolling might. All right, so she's going to attack the queen. You got the same result, double cunning. That doesn't help us do any damage, but she'll block the 3 damage and she can heal 1 on him. He's going to attack the cunning spirit and kill it.
Thanks for the raid, Panda Tangle, and welcome
Hey.
20 lovely people.
It's Amanda Panda. Look at that. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hey. Hey, friends. Hope you guys are doing well. Thank you for that raid. What were you guys playing? Those of you who are here, Amanda Panda does a ton of board game content, and you're probably already following her, but if not, you should do so right now. It's the least we could do. Thank you for that raid. Legends, welcome in. Eva, nice to see you. Yeah, you'll have to tell me what you guys were up to. I've been having a pretty low-key stream here. Those of you who don't know me, I'm James, Opcos Games, and we play board games here. Always physical games on the table, usually solo, sometimes with friends. Today we are playing Escape the Dark Castle because I am trying to play spooky games for the month of October. So I usually stream every Sunday, and we're grinding our way through Escape the Dark Castle, which is a really simple dungeon crawler with a fun core gameplay loop. And we've been having a amazingly lucky run so far. We're currently fighting this friendly lady, the Undead Queen, the boss of this particular scenario that we're doing. Right as you guys rated in. So, what were you guys up to? Amanda Panda was playing Doomlings with guests Rolling Reggie and Aaron Gaiman. Wow, okay, great. It's awesome. Sorry for the raid and run, but I got to get to my game day. Well, I appreciate the raid as always. Nice to see you, and thanks for raiding in here. And yeah, we'll have to get caught up. It's been a while. I've been kind of out of the streaming scene for a couple of months. This is my third stream, I think, since I took like, I don't know, like a 3 or 4 month hiatus. And it feels like it's been forever since I've chatted with a bunch of you folks. So I'll have to reach out on Discord and we'll chat. And with that, let's get back to this. Good to see me back. Thank you. Thank you, Amanda. I appreciate that a lot. And thanks again for that raid. All right. So we were right in the middle of boss combat, but on account of that raid, we'll give you a kind of a quick overview here. So there's like, you have a deck of cards here and you're working through them. Our goal is to work all the way through the deck to the boss. We're trying to escape the Dark Castle, and the boss is, of course, the final thing standing in our way. Now, we did just do a kind of a round of combat. Basically, each enemy here, you're always fighting one generally, shows dice down here at the bottom of their card. And these are like their health almost, right? So we have character dice, these guys, and we have to roll dice that match the dice that are shown on the card. As we do so, we'll remove them. And when they're all removed, that enemy is defeated. Now, the Undead Queen, it's a boss. It's got a little bit of special sauce. We end up summoning spirits as we attack her, which are these guys over here. So that's kind of an unusual exception, but we've mostly dealt with them. We took 1 damage from this guy, and it's essentially the next round of combat. So everyone decides, are they resting or are they participating in combat? If you rest, you don't take damage, you heal 1 HP, but you can't do anything else. If you're in combat, you're fighting, you're going to take damage most of the time. So we're going to fight with both of these characters. We're going to attack the Undead Queen with our Tanner here. We rolled a might. Okay, so we're going to remove this die. It's gone. She has just this wisdom left. And we're going to attack this spirit with our friendly Miller here. So the Miller failed to kill the spirit. He rolled a double might. What this means is he's going to block damage. But we needed a wisdom in order to defeat this guy. Now, he has a special thing. Whenever he rolls a double, he can change it to a single. So he's going to do that. He's going to change this to a wisdom. And that's actually gone. So we've eliminated that spirit. And all that's left for us is this Undead Queen with 1 wisdom on it. Now, our Tanner was fighting the Queen. The Queen's going to attack her for 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. And it's the next round of combat now. So we could sit out on our Miller. He's extremely unlikely to roll wisdom. If he sits out, he doesn't take damage. We kind of like can buy ourselves a couple of rounds. And each character, it shows us on here like what they're good at. So the Tanner is extremely likely to roll wisdom, moderately likely to roll cunning, and very unlikely to roll might. So she's kind of like the exact character we need to seal the deal on this Undead Queen. So our Miller is going to rest. He's going to heal 1 HP. And our Tanner is going to fight. She rolled a double cunning. Doesn't help us with the Queen. But when her item allows us to heal 1 HP when we roll doubles, and she will block all damage. The Queen, normally enemies attack everybody. Well, whatever. Queen only attacks her. Does no damage. Next round of combat. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to rest on the Miller. We're going to attack with the Tanner. We got a single cunning. Big fail. So we're going to take 3 damage. And we're going to switch things up. We're going to rest on the Miller, or the Tanner rather. Heal 1. And the Miller's going to go in. He's extremely unlikely to roll what he needs. But, hey, he rolled a double. And his special relic here, he can turn a double to any single result. So he will turn that to a wisdom, defeat the Undead Queen, and we win the game. So, apologies to those of you who rated it. No one expects the Spanish Inquisition. Time Roller, welcome in. Apologies to those of you who rated in a bit anticlimactic. We were literally 3/4 of the way through the boss fight there, but we had a exceptional run that time. This game is a bit of a like war of attrition. You know, you have a short. I left the lights on. That's weird. That reduces the effect of that a lot. It's a lot less scary. I don't know why I turned those on. Who did that? Martina. GG's. I rated out, then back in. What happened? Well, in the time you were gone, we won the game. Time Roller. So, just the way it went. I expect a refund. No refunds will be granted. So yeah. Anyways, this game is super fun in that it's like really light and just like, you know, doesn't take itself too seriously. It's a fun little adventure. Super straightforward to play. It is very RNG-ish. You know, very random. Like you can just be unlucky and kind of go full to dead and lose. but it's a fun one. So maybe we'll give it one more try. I expect more games start over. Well, I was intending to stop, but I also wasn't expecting to get rated. So we'll give it one more try. We'll keep things simple here. What we'll do is we'll start out with the 2 characters that remain that we from the base game that we haven't played, the Fletcher and the Tailor. Okay, so every character has their own dice. Let's see. There's the Tailor. So there's the Fletcher's die, and there's the Tailor die. So the Tailor, I mean, this is actually sort of like not a super complimentary. They're very low might. We might just lose on account of that, but you know what? That's just the way this game goes. I think we'll leave the companions in. Those are from this scenario specifically, but whatever. Keep things simple. And I think we can set aside the Undead Queen and all of her scenario cards. And let's fight the one base game boss that we never got to, the Demented Priestess. So sometimes we do it as a little bit of a secret, you know, we don't know what's there. And other times, like this one, we're just gonna choose. All right, so we will shuffle up. These are the starting cards. We need one of these. We'll pick that one. And then we need all this huge deck. We need 15 cards from here. Shuffling large sleeved cards, physically impossible in my opinion. I cannot riffle shuffle these. No way, no how. I'm not gonna try. So we get what we get, and we don't get upset. Team, give Lady Opcost a refund. Get out of here, Legends. I missed you. Hope you're doing well. Have you been playing many games lately? Got anything new? I feel like Legends always has more new games than me, and actually gets them to the table. You know, that's kind of a huge part of it, I guess. All right, we need 15 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I feel like I could have just picked 15 randomly from the deck, and that probably would have been a better randomization scheme anyway, but failed to do that. Who cares? Okay, so this is like we're set up now for a new run. So we've got a starting card here. It's gonna usually give us a couple of items. We are the Tailor and the Fletcher. These guys, it shows you here kind of what's on their dice. So there's Cunning, Might, and Wisdom. So this is a pretty all-round character, but more likely to get Cunning results than anything else. Might and Wisdom. A little hard to come by. The Tailor, likewise, very cunning. A little mightier than the Fletcher, but not very wise. So, sorry, a little wiser, but not very mighty. Exactly the opposite of what I said. So overall, this is not a particularly well-balanced set of characters, but we're just going to run with it. The core gameplay loop I talked to you guys about as you rated in, well, we'll explore that in a second here, because we're going to get right to it. What about mass shuffling? Well, listen, yeah, I could definitely, whatever. There's some options there, but I hate shuffling sleeved cards generally. And whatever. I just wanted to complain. Leaving behind your despicable confinement at last. Oh, in case this wasn't super obvious, we're escaping a dark castle where we have been imprisoned. So we just got out of our cell. Leaving behind your despicable confinement at last, you hurry to the foretold location and pray the legend is true. Carefully feeling for the mechanism, you gasp as the wall recedes. You found the secret passage. Discard a chapter card from the castle deck without looking at it. In the tunnel beyond, a lone barrel stands sentinel in the darkness. Draw one item card. We get this and only this item. A partially rotten apple. Awesome. You emerge into a cold, dimly lit passage you do not recognize. From here, your path to freedom will be fraught with danger. You hear whispers on the air. There is no time to lose. So partially rotten apple lets us restore 1 HP. Each character can hold 2 items. Not the best card to draw, but that's okay. A series of long blades swing from the ceiling of this narrow passageway. You study the pattern of their movement and prepare to dash through to the other side. In unison, all players must roll their character die along with 1 chapter die 3 times. Each time a player's character die matches the chapter die they rolled, they are caught by the blades and lose 2 HP. Okay, we're going to send these guys. We're going to resolve this individually. All right. The Tailor, that's 1 success. We got to do this 3 times each. Matchy bad. Okay, so that's a match, but we rolled doubles, so we're fine. And we rolled doubles again. So the Tailor makes it through. The Fletcher, no matchy. And doubles anyway. Not a match. Oh, gotta actually get it in the thing. And that's a match, but it's doubles. So we succeed. We are primed and ready. We're basically elite athletes escaping this prison by jumping over these whirring blades like they're not even there. It's no sweat. Imagine having to navigate this passage if you had to pee late at night. Yeah, wait. What do you mean we have to escape from a dark castle in a game called Escape the Dark Castle? Exactly. All right. From the darkness ahead, an arrow whistles past your ear. Before you can react, another buries itself into your shoulder. So I didn't mention this, but we have this enormous thing that says you. It's this huge, thick, metallic piece. Came in the collector's edition. A lot of the cards, you're choosing one character to resolve the card. That's this player. So anywhere it says you in the text, it means the Fletcher in this case. And we could freely switch that, but we have to do so before we flip the card. So in this case, it's you. So it says you lose 2 HP. Cautiously creeping along the passage, you find a man's body riddled with arrows. There's no sign of the attackers, so you check to see if he was carrying anything of value. I feel like getting hit in the shoulder with an arrow is a sign of the attackers, but opinions differ, I guess. We found the Ritual Chalice, a relic. I've not seen this one before. Discard at the end of any chapter to perform the blood ritual. Any number of players may choose to lose any amount of HP each. The total amount of HP lost is then gained by any one other player. Okay, so we can We can transfuse blood in the dungeon with a chalice, basically. From one to another. Maybe that'll be helpful later if we end up with a really disproportionate amount of HP. I guess we'll see. Okay, so we're going to make the Tailor be you. Generally, this is whoever has the most health, right? Not always, but usually. In this sweltering chamber, a blacksmith is forging a sword. He is so absorbed in his craft that you spot an opportunity to steal from him. As a group, choose one option. So we can move on, or we nominate a player to roll cunning in one attempt. Oh, listen, we got to make it out of this dungeon. Our Tailor is exceptionally cunning, and so is our Fletcher. Our Fletcher is going to try to be the one, because I think the Fletcher has more sides of the die that it has. 4 sides of this die have. We have a 66% chance here. Surely we can do it. This Fletcher, if you've never seen somebody as cunning as her. All right. Boom. Nailed it. You relieve the blacksmith of some of his wares before slipping away. Draw 2 item cards. We found an infested cheese wheel. Huge boon there that lets us heal 1 HP on everybody. Okay, and an elixir of insight we discard before any round of combat to change any chapter die to a trait of our choice. So we could probably turn something from might to cunning, for instance. We can also trade items and whatever. Probably we're just going to eat this partially rotten apple with our Fletcher's going to eat it and heal 1 HP. And we're going to feel better about our lives. All right. Where there was once flesh and fur, the bones of the skeletal beast now crackle with the menacing power of dark magic. Begin combat. So, whenever we would remove a chapter die by hitting the enemy, roll it instead. If it's wisdom, do not remove it. Put it back, wisdom side up. That's annoying. So this guy starts with 1 cunning, 1 wisdom, and then we roll 1 die per player. That's what the little player icon down here means. So we got 2 might. Might is not our favorite. He's going to do 2 damage to anybody who participates. We can rest instead of participating and we just heal 1 health, but always at least 1 character has to participate. And we're all going to participate this time. So the Tailor is going to roll a die. It's a wisdom. That's gone. And a might. That's huge because mights are hardest one to come by. We're each going to take 2 damage. And we're going to give that a whirl again. What do we got? A cunning. Exactly as expected. Yeah, whatever. Ah, hey, look at that. A might and a block. Doesn't matter, though, because this guy's dead. We get exactly 1 item after every combat, unless it says otherwise. We found a crumbling spellbook. I think these are the 2 relics that were in the scenario we just played. Whenever you would roll your character die, you may instead attempt to cast a spell. Choose the spell, then roll the spell die once and apply the effect. I've never seen this before. See rulebook. Okay, I think this is the witchy rulebook. I've just been kind of throwing everything in a big pile over here. That's seeming suboptimal now. Oh, I actually set it aside over here. Okay, so, oh, this is a 2-handed relic. We would have to get, honestly, this chalice isn't that useful, but we could eat our wheel of cheese, restore 1 HP each, and continue with our chalice. Okay, our spellbook. So this is the spell die. It has that face, which is probably not good. I think that's also not good. And that's probably really good. So we can optionally, instead of rolling our character die, attempt to roll a spell. The spells we can choose are Obliterate, which lets us, on a normal success result, we remove 1 chapter die of our choosing. This lets us remove 2 of our choosing. If we fail the spell, we lose an HP. And if we super mega fail, we lose the HP and the spell book. We can cast Revive. That lets us restore 2 HP, or all players restore 2 HP on the good version. Or we lose 1, or we lose 1 and get rid of the thing. And Manipulate. We can do this on any challenge, not in. So basically, it's the same as Obliterate, but for non, like non-combat. We get to choose a single trait of our choice or a double of our choice, or we lose some HP, or we lose some HP, and the thing blows up. All right. That's a pretty cool relic. I've never had that before. Huge. You turn a corner and step right into the path of 2 guards. They exchange a puzzled look and then lunge to restrain you. As a group, choose one option. We can force our way past them. We each lose 1 HP, or we can fight them. It's only 2 player dice, which is quite an easy fight. And they do 2 damage each time, but we would gain an item. I think we're going to just push past them. We're going to just whoop, lose our HP and keep on keeping on. A skeletal form lies slumped in the corner of this dark chamber. Beneath the dust of ages, it still clutches a moldering map. As a group, we can either choose to continue, or we can nominate a player to roll 2 wisdom in 3 attempts. We're not super wise as a group. This would also get us more items. Let's try it. If we have to fight this skeleton, it's way worse than the last fight that we skipped. So we'll just roll 2 wisdom in 3 attempts. What do we got? This guy could get a double. Easy. We could alternatively use our spell book and cast Manipulate. That means we have multiple ways to get wisdom, but potentially we lose HP. Let's try it. Let's use our spell book and attempt to manipulate our results here. Okay? So, we got to roll 2 wisdom in 3 attempts. That's a wisdom. That is also a wisdom. Done. Success. The map leads to a hidden cache. Draw 2 item cards. We got a shield and a partially rotten apple. So I think we can just eat that immediately. And then our shield is probably a lot more useful over time instead of this ritual chalice, which is probably a lot more useful in like a game with 4 players or something. So our shield reduces damage anytime we would lose one by 1, but never to 0. Okay, cool. Let's keep on keeping on. That guy looks nasty. This passageway suddenly fills with harsh, whispered curses. Flames leap from the wall-mounted torches to take on the form of a demonic warrior. Tongues of arcane fire surging from its charred skull. As a group, choose one. So we either lose 2 HP each, dashing through the fire, or we can fight him, and he's really nasty. Let's just lose our 2 HP. She'll only lose 1 because of her shield. And we're gonna keep on keeping on. I don't want to fight that guy. A monstrous winged creature swoops at you from the darkness above. Its hunting cry is deafening. You must try to roll a cunning or a double in 1 attempt. You, the Tailor. That's a cunning. We did it. Success. You react quickly and dive aside. Begin combat. So, Cunning, Wisdom, two character dice, both of which are Wisdom. We need to be extremely wise for this one. Yikes. All right, Tailor's up. 2 Cunning and a block. Fletcher's up. No Wisdom, but no block. So the Fletcher's going to take 2 damage. I think she's going to sit out the next round and heal 1. And our Tailor's going to just ruin this guy. Or fail horribly and simply, you know, roll Cunning. And good news, are going to block 1 of the damage. So we're only going to take 1 damage. I think we can kind of like do this a bit. We can heal our Fletcher, roll with our Tailor. We got the same result as last time. We're still going to take a damage. Could have used my elixir of insight here. Probably should have used it before. Discard before any round of combat to change any chapter die to show a trait of your choice. Let's just do that now before the next round of combat. In this round, we're going to let our Tailor... Actually, we want our Tailor... She has a better chance of winning anyway. And she only takes 1 damage instead of... We're going to take 2 if we send our Fletcher in. We're just going to heal up our Fletcher a bunch. Rest. Attack. We got Cunning again. Good thing I changed that. So we eliminate this one, but we're still going to take a damage. And we're going to rest again and attack again. We got a Might. Oh my god. Where is the million results that give us Wisdom? Okay, we just can't seem to do it. We're basically full. I think we got to let our Tailor sit out, because otherwise we're just gonna die. That sucks. Okay, so the Tailor's gonna heal 1, and we're gonna show her how it's done by rolling not Wisdom, but we block. So that's fine. We take no damage. Our Tailor's gonna sit out, and we're gonna show her how it's done by rolling not Wisdom and taking 2 damage. This has been brutal. I think we're gonna try casting a spell here. We're going to cast Obliterate. Okay, we lose 1 HP, and the spellbook dissolves. And we're going to take damage. So that failed. We'll take 2 damage. Apparently we just cannot roll Wisdom to save our life. Okay, Fletcher's going to sit out. Tailor's going to roll. I don't understand why this die is so loaded. Take a damage. Fletcher's gonna sit out. Tailor's gonna roll. Finally, we got it. Oh my gosh. That was brutal. Oh my god, after a player has taken damage from this creature, they can no longer block it. Ooh. Oh, we weren't blocking. I don't think we actually blocked generally very much. We might have done that with the Fletcher once incorrectly. I'm not sure. But we were using our shield, which is not blocking. It just reduces the damage. So, awesome turn of events. Yeah, totally. I love that for me. We got Elixir of Insights. We'll just give that over to our failed sorceress, the Fletcher. And we'll keep on going. Bringing his cart to a halt beside you, an intriguing stranger insists you sample his latest brew, a healing elixir, he claims. A spiked club dangles from his belt, and keen as you are to move on, you feel it would be unwise to refuse. All right, let's just take a sip. We'll just take a sip. We'll draw an item card. A partially rotten apple, which we immediately consume for 1 HP. 14 health, 13 health, 14 here, 13 here. Overall, that's pretty good. I don't really want to take a deep slug of mystery elixir from a guy in the the bowels of the castle. No thank you. A haggard old woman appears out of nowhere and offers to read your fortune. Something in her eyes speaks of a greater power. You feel it is wise to comply. Each player must individually declare a trait and then try to roll it in 1 attempt. Okay, we're going to declare Cunning for both because that's our primary trait. Cunning. We rolled wisdom. So failure, the witch steals part of your soul. You lose 1 HP. We're going to roll cunning on the Fletcher, though, when we succeeded. So we're going to heal 1 HP or draw an item card. I think the best possible result here is an item card that gives... I mean, maybe we find an item card like this, like a sword, like a weapon or something. Let's take an item card. It's an event. It's the Castle Guard. Okay, let's do it. Castle Guard is that's huge. That's big. The Castle Guard springs from the shadows and levels his spear at you. He looks you up and down, then lowers his weapon and lets out a beat of gruff laughter. What a sorry-looking lot, he says. If you're after getting out, follow me. So this guy joins our group. There's no good place to put him. He has 3 HP, which we've had him out before, and we used Desiccant, Forbidden Candy, to track his HP. And he's kind of like a player, but not. It's okay. All right. Who is you? You is the Fletcher. You are knocked unconscious and dragged down a side passage. You awake strapped to a table where a man in a filthy apron is scraping rust from a jagged blade. You are to be a test subject for the castle's torturer. New torture tactics. Love it. Love it. So this seems to play similar to the old school choose your own adventure books. Random stuff happens in a room. Right in the middle of... Yeah, totally. I agree. It is like a choose your own adventure. I mean, I would say it's slightly different in that you're not... usually you're picking the one thing happens, and sometimes you get to kind of choose how to resolve it, but it's a little less narratively impacting, right? You're generally experiencing that thing. Yeah, I don't know. I hope you know what I mean, but it does kind of feel like that. It's really straightforward. It's really simple. It's a little silly. It's kind of odd that we're going to run into some random guy selling stuff in the middle of the dungeon of the castle, but I don't care that it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's fun, All right, so this guy, our Fletcher, is in there. We have to endure the pain until our absence is noticed. So somehow our Tailor and our Castle Guard, they were chatting, they were having a good time. They didn't notice us get abducted by this guy, who's creepy looking, by the way, extremely untrustworthy. So we have to roll our character die 5 times. For each roll that is not might or a double, we lose 1 HP. We roll might very infrequently, so we're going to lose 1. That's a double. We're safe. That's 2 rolls. That's also a double. We're still safe. That's 3. That's not might or a double. We're going to lose another one. And our final roll, we get a double. I don't know where all those doubles were the rest of the time we've been playing the game, but I'm happy that we found them now. All right, we don't get an item because that wasn't combat. You've been hunted by the ferocious castle hounds. You become separated, and each of you must fight alone. Roll a chapter die in front of each player. So this does explicitly include our defecting guard. To represent the hounds attacking them. However, the hounds can sense weakness. Players that with less than half their starting health get 2 dice. Okay, that didn't happen to any of us, so that's good. You can't rest until the hounds attacking you are dispatched. So let's deal with our guard first. Oh, okay. I kind of didn't like this ability. Well, I was also very zoomed in there, so we missed a bunch of that. I didn't love this ability, but we're gonna deal with it. And so we rolled our special thing. And it says, "Quick, you lot, inside." The guard hisses, pushing aside a hidden door in the old stone wall. As you hurry down the dark passage beyond, you hear the portal behind you grinding to a close. The guard is nowhere to be seen. The current chapter ends immediately and without any further effect. So this is just gone now. Discard the next chapter card along with this companion card and its corresponding event card. So we just bypass that card. And this guy's gone. And boom, we just skipped past a thing. We found the guard showed us a secret passage, and we got away from the dogs. Makes sense narratively, but I wanna fight the dogs. You know, I want to do the things. So, anyways, oh well. Let's keep on going here. Secret passages are nice. It's true. It's true. Unfortunately, sometimes they are filled with bats. Without warning, a swarm of giant bats burst into the passageway. You can only cower beneath the overwhelming blur of wing and fang. As the bats swarm past, each player in turn must roll their character die along with 3 chapter dice. After rolling, a player loses 1 HP for each chapter die that matches their character die. If they roll a double or roll no matches, they are unharmed. All right. Gotta actually roll them in the thing. I did roll a double and no matches, so the Tailor is fine. Ease peas. See how the Fletcher fails. Fares, not fails. No failing. Okay, no matches. Easy. The bats were completely inadequate at hurting us. They just gently wafted cool castle air towards our face, and we felt good about it. All right, we made it to the boss. This is it. You've reached the final challenge. One last obstacle stands between you and freedom, and that obstacle is the demented priestess. Dun dun dun. You cannot harm me. Behold the devotion of my followers. The priestess is protected by her possessed underlings. The row of chapter dice showing might. All of these dice must be removed before you are able to attack the priestess herself, the dice behind the row of might. Okay, so she's got 1 die per character. Thankfully for us, we also rolled might. Might is the thing we have the least access to. She's got 1 wisdom. The thing we need the most, or the thing we have the most on our characters, is cunning. And this boss fight has 6 dice, none of which are cunning. Okay. So, we're going to use our Elixir of Insight. Discard before any round of combat to change any chapter die to show a trait of your choice. We're going to change at least one of these things to cunning. And then I think we're both gonna fight. She does 3 damage to us each round. This is like a war of attrition. We better roll might, because we gotta eliminate these first before we can fight her. Unlucky. Now we could rest the Fletcher and only take 2 damage instead of taking 6. But I think for at least 1 round, we're just gonna attack. See what happens. We got a wisdom. That does literally nothing for us. We got a might. Huge. Unlikely. And we were successful. So we're going to take 3 damage here and 3 damage here. We're at 9 on each, which means, like, it's actually kind of really important here. Like, we have 3 more rounds and then we're dead. If we each rest once, then we'll be at 10 HP. That actually gives us 4 rounds. So let's have the Fletcher rest and heal 1. And our Tailor's going to fight. Oh my god, another might. A huge boon. But 3 damage. And then we're going to do the opposite. We're going to have the Tailor rest, and our Fletcher's going to fight. Wisdom, not what we need right now. Not what we need right now. You suck, Fletcher. Okay, we're both at 7. Let's just fight. Let's just get it out there. Okay. So we eliminate the cunning, and we eliminate the wisdom. The priestess is still going to attack us for 3 each. We'll block it on the Fletcher. Tailor's going to take 3 damage. I think that means the Tailor's going to rest, and the Fletcher's going to attack. I mean, we got to rest 2 more times before we actually get an extra hit out of it, so I don't know if that's even worth it, but we're going to do it anyway. Unsurprisingly, we didn't get might. We got wisdom. We're going to take our 3 damage. We're at 4 health over here and 5 over here. It's not going to matter. We got 2 more rounds of combat. We're just going to go out swinging. We're both going to attack. Shouldn't the Tailor only take 2 damage each time because of the shield? You are totally right. I completely forgot about this rod and shield that she's had. And I'm just going to give her 2 health, and we're going to call that even, because I don't remember how many times she's taken a hit, but it's been at least twice, because we're kind of up here. We're at 9 health at least. I don't know if we started at 9 or started at 12. Anyways, we'll call that even. So actually that kind of changes things, because she can take 2 rounds of combat and he can only take 1. So the Fletcher can sit out 1 round, heal 1, and the Tailor can attack. Flubbed it again, and we'll take 2 damage. We're going to do that again. We're going to heal 1 over here. What a good reminder. Oh my god, we just cannot roll might. We rolled a wisdom there. Going to take that 2 damage. So this guy gets hit twice. He's out. She gets hit twice. She's out. Healing once over here isn't going to give us an extra round. Healing once here would. But I think we just fight. We're just going to fight. We got to roll might. We got to roll might. Come on. Okay, we got 1 might and we block on both characters. So huge. We block all of our damage. We don't take any damage. And we just need 1 might now to win the game. I think we can do it. We're both going to attack. We absolutely failed. The Tailor does not block. The Fletcher does. Still no might. Tailor's down to 1 HP. We blocked over here. We're at 6. We're doing okay on the Fletcher. So Tailor's going to sit out and heal. Fletcher's going to attack. Flubs it. Takes her 3 damage. And no matter what we do here, we're dead next turn, right? We'll take 3 damage on the Fletcher and we're dead. If we heal 1, but we take 2 damage here, we're dead. If we heal 1 here, but take 3, we're dead. So this is our last hurrah. It's our only chance. We got to get 1 might. It's down to this die roll. Do we win or do we lose? Oh, and the Fletcher comes up huge with the 1 might. The Demented Priestess is dead. We do not take damage. And we won the game. So literally on the final roll, could not be any more tense, down to the wire. Would have failed if it wasn't for chat saving us with reminding me about the rotten shield here. So thank you for that, Angels. GG. Big dub there. Didn't expect to win that one. I think that so there's 3 different bosses in like sort of the base game. There's this guy, the Demented Priestess. Oh, that camera angle sucks. I cannot show that off. There's the Demented Priestess. We've played all of them today, I guess. But there's the Demented Priestess. There's the Dark One, who I think is the easiest of the bunch, honestly. You lose items, but often you don't have any anyway. And then there's the Terror of the Underworld, who kicked our butt. Basically, every round you end up adding an additional chapter die to this guy. So you have to be eliminating like more than 1 each round, which is sort of like disproportionately hard for playing with only 2 players. I don't think I've ever defeated this guy. But it sort of really depends how the game goes, you know? Sometimes you get, sometimes you roll well and sometimes you don't. Sometimes you have more events. Events, like it's a war of attrition. You're slowly losing health. Generally, the events are more impactful. Like often you don't lose any health or lose only a little and you get quite a good reward. Whereas combat is almost always net negative, right? So avoiding combats is generally the way to win. So anyways, the Undead Queen is from an expansion. The Undead Queen is, yeah. So there's 3 like content packs. So like we have It's kind of actually a little bit difficult to keep track of all of them. Where did I put her? Maybe I set her aside. Oh yeah. So these are all the bosses that I have in here. The Undead Queen, Champion of the Fighting Pits, the Beastmaster, the Entity, the Hydra, Keeper of the Horde, the Player of Games, the Master of Darkness, the Shapeshifter, and the Plague Lord. So there's a lot. There were three, basically, like there was the base game. The collector's edition came with some additional stuff. Like for instance, these starting cards in the base game, if you just bought it at retail, there was one, right? And then the collector's edition came with three. Just introduces a little bit of variability. And then there's 3 adventure packs. So there's the Cult of the Death Knight. That's the wrong one. Wherever I put the Witch Queen, the Undead Queen book, and then the Plague Lord, right? So there's 3 like content packs that are like just like the Undead Queen. Like this is like more of like a scenario where it has specific cards that you would play with it, and like you can just mix and match. You can just jam everything together. I find that becomes a little bit too random for my preferences, right? Like there's just some of the expansion weapons are a little better. Like I kind of regret having included these companions. That was also part of the Undead Queen like supplemental expansion pack. I think that last run would have been more fun if we hadn't found this guy, you know, but whatever. But yeah, there's like curses and plagues and extra weapons that are good. Like that spell book was one of them that isn't in the base game, you know? So it's like sort of the base game is really thin and light. All of the items and stuff are really straightforward. It's, you know, your bread that heals 2, or your apple that heals 1, or your luck that lets you re-roll. And like, that's it, you know? And then there's like a bunch of other stuff you can add to get some variability and like whatever. I've been sitting here playing this for, what is it now? Like 3-4 hours. And, you know, we saw a couple samey bits, but broadly speaking, each one was unique and different. And, it was fun, you know? So yeah, overall, this is a game that it's sort of weird. It's like, no, maybe not weird. I don't love this game. It's not like, oh my God, this is the best game I've ever played or something like that. But it's just like consistently fun for like a little bit, right? It's like I can take out Escape the Dark Castle. If I don't remember the rules, the whole rule book is like 3 pages, you know, it like you can read it in 5 minutes. And then overall, it's just like, you know, fun to play through a couple of times and then, you know, let it sit until next Halloween is what I usually do. And I'm 98% sure that they're reprinting it actually. There's another campaign. I think it's on GameFound. The company that publishes Escape the Dark Castle is called Themeborn. And I'm quite certain that Escape the Dark Castle is getting a reprint, like a second edition. I don't know how it has changed, if any. I don't actually know anything more than what I just said. But I do know that it's at least kind of coming up soon. They're consistently fun games. There's Escape the Dark Sector, which I also have and have played on stream, but likewise not for a long time. It's sort of like a little bit more complicated, but functionally not really. And then I know that they used a similar system for The Last of Us, which I thought about playing today, but that didn't feel spooky enough. You know, I wanted the generic fantasy setting and weird monsters and stuff. The Last of Us is post-apocalyptic. It didn't feel right. And I think that they expanded on things quite a bit, but I don't know. I haven't actually played it yet. I've got it sitting in the garage and waiting to be played. So anyhow, that was a good run. I had lots of fun today. Let's see if we can find a place to raid. Take a quick look. It was nice that we got that raid from Amanda Panda. We can see if we can return the favor somewhere else. A challenge is that the board game category on Sunday is often very thin, you know? Very thin. And I prefer to raid people who are actually playing games on the table. It ends up being board gamer stuff almost always. It's like Loozapalooza raids in here like all the time because there's not that many options, frankly, and we desperately, or not desperately, we deeply appreciate it. And I think it's the same for us. We're going to raid board gamer Steph because that looks like it looks like that's, you know, those are our options really, at least for English language streams. So unless we got something crazy that's in another category here. I don't know. We're just gonna raid Steph and stop thinking about it too much. Awesome stream today. Thank you. Greg, thanks for that Prime sub. Appreciate you. Thank you for the stream. Appreciate you being here. It was great. So I'm going to set up this raid. We're going to raid Board Gamer Steph, another board game content creator. Plays a bajillion new games all the time. Lots to see there. And yeah, thank you guys for being here. I am going to continue streaming every Sunday. So for the month of October, I'm going to be playing spooky games. We'll probably play some Final Girl, maybe some Mansions of Madness. I thought about Subterra, which we can play in the dark, kind of. Blacklight, it's kind of interesting. We'll maybe give that another whirl. I'm not really sure yet. We'll see. But spooky games for October. And I think I'm going to start easing back into streaming on YouTube with my daughter. So I don't know what the schedule is like for that, but I know something I'm looking forward to there. Also spooky games. We played Black Mold last year and had a lot of fun with it. And I think we're going to do that again. So I suspect that that's going to come up soon. I'm not sure exactly when. I'll post something about it on the Discord. But in any case, we're going to raid out. And thanks for being here. Hope you guys play some games with people you love and maybe even some spooky ones. We'll see you soon.